Chapter 503. If Wang Mang hadn't said that earlier, maybe Xiao Yan wouldn't have guessed Wang Mang's identity. But the words fellow countryman immediately attracted Xiao Yan's attention. Could it be that I'm not the only one who transmigrated? That was what Xiao Yan was thinking at the moment. But after thinking for a while, Xiao Yan didn't think about anything else. He took off the ring without hesitation and was about to hand it to Wang Mang. In the next instant, the ring suddenly flew into the distance. However, it was caught by Wang Mang. Seeing this, everyone present was stunned. They looked at the ring in Wang Mang's hand in astonishment. At the same time, Wang Mang looked at it meaningfully. Xiao Yan rode the big tiger and left. Seeing Wang Mang's figure leaving, Xiao Yan wanted to say something but stopped. He wanted to chase after him but didn't dare to. But he knew that Wang Mang must have a way to leave this world. There must be a way to return to Earth. Unfortunately, he couldn't do anything about it. At the same time, with Wang Mang's departure, the drama of breaking off the engagement also came to an end. At this moment, in a vast forest with green mountains and clear water, Wang Mang played with the ring in his hand and said slowly, "Yao Lao, right? Come out. Teach me the art of alchemy, and I'll let you go." The next moment, a translucent old man in white with fluttering white hair floated out of the ring. This old man was none other than Yao Lao. However, at this moment, Yao Lao was looking at Wang Mang with a grave expression. He could feel that Wang Mang was completely different from other Dozuns. He seemed to be much stronger than ordinary Dozuns. After a moment of silence, Yao Chan said slowly, "You want the art of alchemy? I can't give it to you. I need to guide you step by step. If you want to learn, avenge me and help me resurrect. I'll teach you the art of alchemy." Hearing this, Wang Mang was speechless. This old man was quite smart. He actually took the opportunity to make a request. But Wang Mang naturally wouldn't agree. On the contrary, he rudely said, "Old thing, I advise you not to have any other ideas. Otherwise, I won't even let you live in your soul state." After hearing Wang Mang's threat, Yao Lao was silent for a long time. "Good. Here you go. But you can't reveal my whereabouts, and you can't tell anyone about my situation. I can sense that you're not from the Soul Clan." Wang Mang nodded in satisfaction. "Hand it over. What's soul race? It has nothing to do with me." As soon as he finished speaking, Wang Mang saw a jade scroll floating in front of him. Wang Mang immediately took the jade slip. After opening it, he found that it was indeed an alchemy technique. Wang Mang nodded in satisfaction and waved his hand. "All right, old man, you can scram now." Hearing this, Yao Chun left sullenly. He still wanted to look for Xiao Yan. This was because in Yao Chun's opinion, Wang Mang was not easy to fool. It was easier to fool the little trash. Moreover, he didn't take Xiao Yan seriously at first. However, when he found out that there were people from the ancient clan who had a good relationship with Xiao Yan, he immediately had other thoughts. This also proved that Xiao Yan was still worthy of being his disciple. Moreover, he had seen Xiao Yan's temperament. He shouldn't be wrong again. At the same time, Wang Mang didn't pay attention to Yao Lao at all. On the contrary, Wang Mang was absorbed in studying the alchemy technique. The only thing that made Wang Mang feel helpless was that the things recorded in this thing were all alchemy techniques of the battle energy world. Thinking of this, Wang Mang couldn't help but ask in his heart, "System, can you change it to something that I can understand?" The system's voice sounded, "Ding." Changing it to an alchemy technique that is most suitable for the host to practice requires 10,000 energy points. Would the host like to change it? Change it. Although it was a little painful to lose the energy points, Wang Mang endured the heartache and said. The next moment, the system's voice sounded, "Ding. Congratulations to the host. Change successful. Change successful. Ding. Congratulations to the host. You have obtained a level 1 alchemy technique manual." Then, after the system's change, a new alchemy technique manual appeared in front of him. After Wang Mang took it, he skimmed through it and was delighted to find that he could finally understand the alchemy technique. In his excitement, Wang Mang couldn't wait to start practicing. Moreover, Wang Mang also sent away his two subordinates, De Hu and Xuan Yo. He let them practice on their own. When the teleportation stone was full of energy, they could return to Earth at any time. After sending away his two subordinates, Wang Mang snatched another alchemy furnace in Wutan City. He directly snatched it. No one dared to say a word to him. He was completely suppressing them with his power. Just like that, Wang Mang practiced alchemy for an entire year. In the end, without a teacher, Wang Mang really managed to figure out how to refine pills. Of course, in the process of alchemy, Wang Mang didn't know how many times the alchemy furnace exploded. However, every time the furnace exploded, Wang Mang would go and snatch a few more alchemy furnaces to refine some level 1 low-level pills. From the beginning, the level 1 low-level pills to the mid-level and high-level pills. The 3 alchemy recipes were all mastered by Wang Mang. The 3 alchemy recipes were respectively: Level 1 low-level pill, dust-breaking pill; Level 1 mid-level pill, spirit-channeling pill; Level 1 high-level pill, barrier-breaking pill. As for the other alchemy recipes, Wang Mang didn't know how to make them. That was because he didn't even have any alchemy recipes. These 3 alchemy recipes were all bought from the system. He spent a total of 10,000 energy points. It was extremely expensive. That also made Wang Mang understand that if he wanted to obtain higher-level alchemy recipes, he had to go to the Sacred Emperor continent. That was because the alchemy profession in the Sacred Emperor continent was more prosperous and had even reached its peak. Moreover, the difference between the two worlds also meant that even if he cultivated to the peak of rank for alchemy here, he might not be able to become a true peak rank for alchemy master. It seemed like he had to go back. After Wang Mang exclaimed, he checked the tricolored teleportation stone. The teleportation stone was already full of energy. After all, Wang Mang had stayed in this world for a year. However, this world wasn't much of a challenge for Wang Mang. Once he had a breakthrough in his strength, he could come back and dominate this world. By then, he could notify the entire Do-Chi continent and make it his personal property. He could even send resources to Earth. With that thought, Wang Mang prepared to use the teleportation stone to return to Earth. However, at that moment, the system's voice rang out, frowny-faced ding. Detected host's current condition. Host can choose from the following missions. Mission 1. Turn a blind eye to the Guardian Divine City that is in danger. Mission time. Available upon selection. Mission reward. 10,000 energy points. Mission 2. Save the Guardian God City in time when it is in danger. Mission time. Available upon completion. Mission reward. 30,000 energy points. Diamond treasure, chest, X1. Third mission. Defend the Divine City in the face of imminent danger and kill the invaders. Mission time. Available upon completion. Mission reward. 50,000 energy points. Immortal rank blind box, X1. Chapter 504. When he heard the system's voice, Wang Mang was completely dumbfounded. Then, Wang Mang made his choice without hesitation. System. I choose the third mission. The next moment, the system's voice sounded. Ding. Congratulations to the host for choosing the mission successfully. Please complete the mission as soon as possible to receive the reward. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang was not happy at all. On the contrary, Wang Mang was furious, because he did not expect that someone would dare to attack his territory. This was totally out of Wang Mang's expectation. Then, Wang Mang used the 3-colored teleportation stone without hesitation and disappeared from this world. When he opened his eyes again, Wang Mang was back in the cave abode in Huanshan Reservoir. After returning to the cave abode, Wang Mang immediately walked out of the cave abode and flew towards the city. In just a short while, Wang Mang arrived near the Guardian Divine City, only to find that the area around the Guardian Divine City had been engulfed in the flames of war. He saw that several heavenly immortal demons were engaged in a fierce battle with Xiao Tianquan, White Fox, Lord Hushan, and Flying Rat. Moreover, the demon clan that attacked them was the Orochi tribe. This caused Wang Mang to be stunned at first, but he soon understood. The last time the Orochi tribe came here, they were completely killed by him. He did not expect that the Orochi tribe would come again. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was even more furious. These Orochi tribe were really looking for death. With that thought, Wang Mang turned into his enormous body and flew toward the battlefield. At this moment, the heavenly immortals of the Orochi tribe who were fighting were even more shocked when they saw Wang Mang. At the same time, the battle came to a stop. There was no other reason, but a stronger existence had appeared. Moreover, the guardian divine city was more powerful than they had imagined. At this time, the leader of the Orochi tribe turned into a middle-aged man. He looked at Wang Mang with a serious face and asked, "My friend, where did you come from?" Wang Mang said coldly, "Where did I come from? Don't you know that this is my territory?" As soon as he finished speaking, Wang Mang shot out a black light from his eyes. Rumble. The Orochi tribe of the heavenly immortal demons did not even have time to react before he was killed on the spot. Upon seeing this, the other three Yamada no Orochi could not help but suck in a breath of cold air. Although they felt that Wang Mang's strength was, they did not expect Wang Mang's to be this powerful. Merely a single gaze had annihilated a heavenly immortal expert. At that moment, the other three Orochi clansmen became even more uneasy. They looked at Wang Mang apprehensively. Wang Mang opened his mouth and said coldly, "All of you will die too." As soon as he finished speaking, the three Orochi tribe members' faces changed drastically. They turned around and ran without a word. Then, Wang Mang used two eyes of death. Another two Orochi tribe heavenly immortals exploded on the spot. As for the other heavenly immortal demon clan, he wanted to run but was stopped by Wang Mang's subordinates. In the end, Wang Mang used the eyes of death again and completely killed the Orochi tribe heavenly immortal demon clan. In just a few moments, all four Orochi tribe heavenly immortals were killed by Wang Mang. Seeing this, Xiao Tianquan and the rest of his subordinates heaved a sigh of relief. But if one looked closely, they would find a trace of bitterness on their faces. No wonder Wang Mang did not bring them along, because Wang Mang's strength could no longer catch up with Wang Mang. To put it bluntly, they could no longer do much to Wang Mang. At this moment, the system's voice sounded. Ding! Congratulations, host. Mission completed. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained 50,000 energy points. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained Immortal Level Blind Box X1. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang nodded in satisfaction. Only then did Wang Mang transform back into his human form. He looked at his subordinates and slowly said, "How is it? Is there any problem with the Guardian Divine City?" Xiao Tianquan said confidently, "Don't worry, Master. If they want to destroy the Guardian Divine City, they will have to step over our dead bodies first." Hearing this, a smile appeared on Wang Mang's face as he slowly nodded. "Good. I have seen your loyalty. I will not mistreat you. All right, how long has it been since I last came back?" The white fox said slowly, "Master, it has been a year and a half." Wang Mang nodded in realization. At the same time, he knew that the ratio of time flow between the high-level world and the modern world was 1:5. In other words, a year in the high-level world was equivalent to a year and a half in a modern world. At this point, Wang Mang had an idea. After this incident, he wanted to move his family to a top-level macro world. However, this was not safe. This was because he did not have a firm foothold in a top-level macro world. Wang Fu and Queen Mother might not be willing to go either. Then, he would have to have more control over this world. At the very least, he could not let the modern world threaten the existence of the Guardian Divine City. At this point, Wang Mang already had an idea. He had to eliminate any potential threats. As for this so-called Orochi tribe, Wang Mang wanted to completely exterminate them this time. Thinking of this, Wang Mang ordered Xiao Tianquan and the other subordinates to protect his family. After that, Wang Mang left. At this moment, he was flying towards the direction of the tiny country at a terrifying speed. Half an hour later, Wang Mang arrived at the sky above the tiny country. Looking down at this tiny country that could be called a ruin, Wang Mang did not have the slightest pity. Moreover, Wang Mang also found that there were indeed many devil fetus powerhouses in this tiny country. Not only that, Wang Mang also felt the aura of several celestial immortal powerhouses in the tiny country. It seemed that in the past year and a half, there were indeed many powerhouses who had risen. In addition, this tiny country was still able to survive under the devastation of hundreds of millions of zombies. However, this was the end of it, whether it was the Orochi tribe or the tiny country. From now on, they would no longer exist. At this point, Wang Mang had already turned into a huge body and descended from the sky. Rumble. It was accompanied by an earth-shattering sound. Countless tall buildings where Wang Mang landed were all crushed into ruins. Even when Wang Mang turned into his original body and pressed down, he had already crushed countless zombies and the lucky survivors nearby. When they saw Wang Mang's huge body, many of the tiny country people who were hiding in the corner and struggling at death's door were horrified. Because Wang Mang's body was too big. It was even bigger than their Orochi's mythical beast. The size of Orochi was still not enough in front of Wang Mang. However, was it a good thing or a bad thing that such an unprecedented super python had appeared in a small country? At this time, several celestial immortal powerhouses who were hiding in the dark in the tiny country could not sit still anymore. This included one celestial immortal powerhouse and 3 devil fetus powerhouses who had all reached the celestial immortal realm. Senior, what are you talking about? The young man from the Orochi tribe looked at Wang Mang with some fear. Beside him were 2 devil fetus powerhouses in the early stage of the celestial immortal realm. Hearing that, Wang Mang said slowly, "Everyone from the Orochi tribe, come out. I am a friend of your patriarch." Hearing Wang Mang's words, the members of the Orochi clan were overjoyed. So this is a friend of our Orochi clan's ancestor? But in the Orochi tribe, those who could be called patriarch were basically dead. Now, that there was a celestial king powerhouse who was a friend of the Orochi tribe, wouldn't it mean that they would completely defeat the Orochi tribe? No. Exterminating the 8-armed giant serpent clan would be a piece of cake. Thinking of this, the young celestial immortal of the Orochi tribe said excitedly, "Senior, are you really a friend of our Orochi tribe's patriarch?" Wang Mang lightly nodded his head and said with a rueful tone, "That's right. Of course. I promised your patriarch that I would take good care of the Orochi tribe." "Well, young man, bring me to see your Orochi tribe now." Chapter 505. After hearing Wang Mang's words, the young heaven immortal from the Orochi clan suddenly choked with emotion. "Senior, you don't know. Our Orochi clan is in a difficult situation now. Senior, please come with me. I'll bring you to see our Orochi clan." Hearing this, Wang Mang nodded slightly. Then, under the envious gaze of the 2 heaven immortals from the Devil Fetus clan, the young heaven immortal from the Orochi clan brought Wang Mang to a sea area. "Senior, you don't know how difficult our Orochi clan's life has been over the years. Not only were we bullied by the Sea tribe, but we were also oppressed by the 8-armed Naga clan. It was not easy to support a small country, but not long ago, the number of zombies that fell from the sky reached hundreds of millions. Orochi had sent some experts to check it out, but they never returned. This time, our Orochi clan had sent 4 heaven immortals. I hope we can get justice." On the way, the young heaven immortal from the Orochi clan kept complaining to Wang Mang. Hearing this, Wang Mang sneered in his heart and could not help but think to himself, "You still want to seek justice? I'm here to destroy your entire clan." Half an hour later, under the guidance of the young Orochi clan, Wang Mang arrived at a huge island. As soon as he arrived at the island, Wang Mang sensed that there were several auras of early-stage heaven immortals. Wang Mang could not help but be secretly surprised. Wasn't the development of the Orochi clan a little too terrifying? The total number of heaven immortals is almost 10, isn't it? In addition, Wang Mang also sensed that there were many earth immortals on this huge island. "Senior, this is the habitat of our Orochi clan." At this time, the young heaven immortal from the Orochi clan transformed into his human form and said respectfully. Hearing this, Wang Mang nodded slightly, then said slowly, "Go and gather all the people here. Let me take a look. Yes, senior. The Yamada no Orochi youth nodded happily and flew into the depths of the island. Before long, Wang Mang saw that the young man from Orochi had already gathered a group of experts from the Orochi tribe. At a glance, including the Yamada no Orochi that had yet to reach the level of an Earth Immortal, there were thousands of them. Senior. The members of the Orochi tribe bowed their heads respectfully to Wang Mang. Seeing this, Wang Mang nodded his head and said, "Very good. Is everyone here?" Senior. The members of our Yamada no Orochi clan are all here, another heavenly immortal said respectfully. Wang Mang nodded, then said slowly, "Very good. We can go now." As soon as his voice fell, Wang Mang slowly opened his mouth and shot out a falling star toward the place where the members of the Orochi tribe were gathered. Before the Orochi clan could react, they all let out miserable shrieks. Thousands of Orochi clan members had already perished under the attack of the meteor shower. Senior, what were you doing? Senior, why are you doing this? Senior, why are you attacking us? There were also many members of the Orochi tribe who were terrified. Unfortunately, the response they got was another falling star attack from Wang Mang. An hour later, the entire island had been blasted into ruins. Not only that, all the members of the Orochi tribe had died in the ruins. The huge island was also full of holes because of Wang Mang's bombardment. Until now, the entire Orochi tribe had been annihilated. After confirming that there were no survivors, Wang Mang nodded his head in satisfaction. After that, Wang Mang left the island and returned to Tiny Country. After arriving at Tiny Country, Wang Mang began to wreak havoc and destruction. For a moment, the entire Tiny Country was like purgatory. Wherever Wang Mang passed, countless buildings were crushed and turned into ruins. Many of the survivors who managed to escape the calamity looked at the super giant python that was destroying everything in its path in horror. No, this could no longer be described as a super giant python. This was a freaking monster. Many people who were lucky enough to escape could not help but scream in horror. Is the heavens going to destroy us? What is going on? Not long ago, zombies appeared. Now monsters have appeared. Oh my God, why hasn't our country's guardian beast, Orochi tribe, come to save us? Orochi tribe, please come out and save your people. Bakayaro, why is this happening? Are we really going to be destroyed? Many people from the Tiny Country were in despair. They wept bitter tears and snot, and there were also people who cursed loudly. All in all, there were all kinds of situations. The reason for that was because Wang Mang's enormous body was practically crushing everything in its path. With one tail, sweeping across a large area, no matter if it was buildings, zombies, or survivors, all of them could not escape death. As for why Wang Mang would do this, it was naturally because of what happened in Guardian Divine City, which indeed made Wang Mang very angry. Although on the surface, Wang Mang did not seem to have much of a reaction, but in fact his killing intent soared to the sky. As the saying goes, a dragon has a reverse scale, and those who touch it will die. Similarly, Wang Mang also had his own taboo. Moreover, Wang Mang had never been a kind person. He did not feel the guilt of bullying and slaughtering the weak at all. It was worth mentioning that. Wang Mang was surprised to find that his destructive power was even more exaggerated than he imagined. His huge body was like a bulldozer. Everywhere he passed, the city was turned into ruins. Not only that, Wang Mang also found out. In the places he destroyed, not only survivors were running away, but zombies were also running away. This also made Wang Mang somewhat surprised. However, after thinking about it, Wang Mang also felt relieved. These zombies, after all, would also develop wisdom after a long time. Therefore, Wang Mang did not care about it. He would still destroy what he needed to destroy, because Wang Mang had already decided that he would not leave until he turned Tiny Country upside down. At this moment, in a high-rise building in a city, dozens of zombies were fighting a battle of wits and courage with a survivor team. Because this survivor team was unusually united and had a lot of weapons, Therefore, these dozens of zombies did not break through the other party's defense line in one fell swoop. But this time, these dozens of 30 zombies chose to wait outside the high-rise building. Because these people would not go out to search for supplies. They only needed to wait patiently for their prey to walk out of the high-rise building. Sure enough, it didn't take long for more than a dozen fully armed squads to emerge. Just as these zombies were about to rush up and kill this small team, a group of zombies suddenly appeared. Suddenly, a shadow that blotted out the sun shrouded the sky. For a time, all the survivors nearby, as well as the surviving teams and zombies, all looked up. They saw a behemoth of more than 500 meters long rushing over here, leaving ruins wherever it passed. Seeing this scene, everyone was dumbfounded and then involuntarily fled in horror. Many survivors who were desperately running away were also shocked to find that not only were they running away, but these zombies were also running away. Oh my God, why are you running? You are zombies. You should not have wisdom. Oh my God. There are so many of these zombies with wisdom. Facing these shouting, the survivors were very surprised. These zombies with wisdom, while running away, sneered one after another. Damn, you pray no to run when you encounter danger. Why don't we know? Yes, although we are zombies, we are not fools. Stupid zombies without wisdom. How can we survive until now? When we escape from danger, we will celebrate with you and try to eat more of your survivors. As long as we can survive this time, Zombie Lu Dachui, will catch at least 8 survivors and roast them. Damn! So what if I'm a zombie? I'm a zombie with wisdom. Yes, we zombies also have to follow the footsteps of evolution and development. Chapter 506. When they heard the intelligent zombies' answers, many of the survivors who were escaping with them were dumbfounded. Good heavens! No wonder they could not defeat the zombies. It turned out that the zombies were also keeping up with the times. But soon, the survivors and the fleeing zombies discovered what was going on. The place they were at before had been destroyed into ruins. Seeing this scene, both the zombies and the survivors secretly heaved a sigh of relief. Obviously, their decision to escape without hesitation was a very wise choice. Otherwise, they would also be buried in the ruins. Seeing Wang Mang's huge body gradually disappear into the distance, the zombies and the survivors once again fell into a chaotic battle. In the blink of an eye, a few hours had passed. If someone were to observe carefully from above, they would realize that the tiny country had been completely turned into ruins. Although there were still many survivors or zombies active, the tiny country had indeed been turned into ruins. Who knew how many survivors or zombies had died under Wang Mang's unbridled destruction? It's about time. Looking at the ruins of the tiny country, Wang Mang left with satisfaction. Half an hour later, before the sky turned dark, Wang Mang returned to the vicinity of the Guardian Divine City. Then, Wang Mang activated the 5-color teleportation stone and completely disappeared from the earth. When he opened his eyes again, Wang Mang had already arrived at the Sacred Emperor continent. After walking out of the cave, Wang Mang flew toward the Sacred Emperor Academy. This time, Wang Mang came to the Sacred Emperor Academy to seek development. If possible, Wang Mang would even think of a way to join the alchemist profession. After all, he was now a rank 1 alchemist. Moreover, he now had a mission, which was to raise his alchemy skills to rank 4. To be honest, it would not be easy for Wang Mang to raise his alchemy skills. It would definitely be a long process. But if he had the guidance of a powerful teacher, it should be faster. While Wang Mang was deep in thought, he had already arrived outside the Sacred Emperor Academy in a short while. It was still bustling with activity. There were all kinds of shops and vendors on both sides of the street. Seniors and juniors came and went. Oh, junior sisters too. Moreover, there were quite a number of junior sisters, and all of them were quite pretty. Just as Wang Mang was walking towards the back door of the Saint Emperor Academy, a familiar voice came from behind him. Junior, come and play. Wang Mang didn't even need to turn around to know that it was definitely the smiling Buddha who was greeting him. Wang Mang, who was about to solve the problem, suddenly thought that he could ask the smiling Buddha for some information. Thinking up to this point, Wang Mang returned to the smiling Buddha's stall. The other party was looking at him with a smile. How about a trade? Wang Mang thought for a moment, then nodded and said, All right, senior, but I have to ask you something first. Oh, what's going on? Junior brother, go ahead. The smiling Buddha was a little surprised, but he still nodded in agreement. After all, Wang Mang was a regular customer here. He had come here several times to buy immortal origin stones, which brought him a lot of popularity. Senior, how can I join the alchemist profession? Wang Mang thought for a moment and asked in a low voice. You want to join the alchemist profession? Do you want to learn alchemy? The smiling Buddha looked at Wang Mang in surprise. Wang Mang nodded and said, Yes. Does senior have any recommendations? The smiling Buddha frowned and pondered for a long time before shaking his head and saying, You can go to the Sacred Emperor Academy's alchemy area to take a look. If an alchemist takes a fancy to you and feels that you have the qualifications, you could become an alchemist apprentice. If it's a recommendation, I don't have anything to recommend. Those powerful alchemists, I don't have the qualifications to make them pay attention to me. Let me put it this way. Alchemists are all arrogant and have the highest status among the 4 special professions. Refining, talisman, array, these 3 professions have a lower status than alchemists. Moreover, high-tier alchemists don't recruit ordinary apprentices. For example, if a Tier 4 alchemist recruits a disciple, a Tier 3 alchemist would fight to become a disciple. If a Tier 3 alchemist recruits a disciple, a Tier 2 alchemist would fight to become a disciple. The hierarchy is strict and insurmountable. After listening to the smiling Buddha's words, Wang Mang fell into deep thought. Obviously, becoming a high-tier alchemist was more difficult than Wang Mang imagined. If possible, find a way to find a Tier 1 alchemist and start as an alchemist apprentice. When you can refine 10 Tier 1 pills, you can take the exam. After you pass, you will also be a Tier 1 alchemist. Hearing this, Wang Mang nodded slightly. He had a general direction in his heart. It seemed that the method of apprenticeship would not work. He had to figure out how to become an alchemist himself. Now, he had already mastered 3 Tier 1 pills. As long as he mastered 7 more Tier 1 pills, he would be able to become a legitimate Tier 1 alchemist. At that time, he would be able to get a higher-level pill formula and improve his alchemy skills. All right, Junior, I've told you the news. Take care of my business. At this time, the smiling Buddha reminded him with a smile. Wang Mang did not waste any time. He took out 1,000 immortal stones and said, As usual, senior, help me pick any immortal source stone. The smiling Buddha casually picked a blue stone the size of a pot lid and handed it to Wang Mang, saying, Come, Junior, let's take a look. Wang Mang did not waste any time. After receiving the immortal source stone, he slapped it with his palm. Bang! A loud sound was heard. However, the stone still did not crack. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang could not help but laugh. On the contrary, the smiling Buddha, who was originally smiling, could no longer smile. F***CK. Not this. I'll just hand over an immortal source stone. Could it be that this guy is going to open something good again? Thinking of this, the smiling Buddha was speechless. This was because he had opened his own immortal source stone before. However, what made him feel pained was that he had never opened anything good. Just as he was feeling depressed, Wang Mang slapped the immortal source stone away. A dark blue gem-like stone appeared in front of him, shining brightly. After seeing this dark blue gem-like stone, the smiling Buddha could not help but twitch the corner of his mouth. At the same time, Wang Mang also asked about the price in his heart, and the smile on his face became even wider. Senior, do you want this aqua blue crystal? The smiling Buddha forced a smile and said, Yes, this should be worth about 40,000 immortal stones. Hearing this, Wang Mang nodded with satisfaction and said with a smile, Then I'll sell it to you, senior. Here are 40,000 immortal stones. As he spoke, the smiling Buddha waved his hand and took out 40,000 immortal stones. After Wang Mang accepted it, He nodded with satisfaction and handed the stone to the smiling Buddha. Wang Mang, who was in a good mood, hummed a tune and prepared to enter the Saint Emperor Academy. However, when he saw two figures walking towards him, Wang Mang could not help but be stunned. One of them was the petite and cute little junior that he had tricked last time. As for the other one, she was a peerless beauty in a white robe. Her face was as cold as an iceberg. At this moment, Tong Xin saw Wang Mang, and her beautiful eyes were filled with anger. She pointed her fair finger at Wang Mang and looked angry. She gritted her teeth and said, "Big sister, it's him. It was this liar who bullied me last time." Seeing this scene, Wang Mang's heart tightened, and he was completely stunned. F***CK. How could I meet him like this? Isn't this too much of a coincidence? I just came back, especially when he saw the peerless beauty in white next to his little junior. Wang Mang was even on the verge of breaking down, and he was extremely flustered because he realized that this peerless beauty in white had an extremely powerful background. There was a small line of words written on a sign at her voluptuous neckline. Teacher of the Saint Emperor Academy. Stage 5 Alchemy Master. Chapter 507. Damn it. You call her sister? Are you sure you're not joking? Your sister is a rank 5 giant and a rank 5 alchemist? All of a sudden, Wang Mang cursed in his heart, but he was still quite flustered. At the same time, Wang Mang also began to think about how to explain this matter. Forget it. Forget it. I'll just refuse to admit it. Thinking of this, Wang Mang immediately acted as if he didn't see or hear anything. He prepared to walk past her and enter the Saint Emperor Academy. Hey, liar, stop pretending. Are you still pretending to look down on me? Seeing that Wang Mang didn't seem to see her at all, Tong Xion's cute face was filled with anger. This liar was really good at pretending, as if he really didn't know her. She immediately blocked in front of Wang Mang and said angrily. Wang Mang immediately looked at the little junior sister with a puzzled expression and said, "Junior sister, what are you doing?" Tong Xen stared at Wang Mang with her beautiful eyes and said angrily, "Are you still pretending? You cheated me of immortal stones and bullied me last time. Have you forgotten so quickly?" At the same time, the beautiful woman in white also sized up Wang Mang with her beautiful eyes. She could tell that this was the first time her little sister was so emotional toward someone. All right, the Wang Mang in front of her couldn't even be considered a human. He was a demon. She was able to tell at a glance. But she couldn't bully him because of her identity as a teacher. Therefore, she didn't say anything from the beginning to the end. She was as cold as an iceberg, as if she was otherworldly. "Junior sister, you must be mistaken. I never lie." Wang Mang shook his head with a puzzled look. Seeing that Wang Mang refused to admit it, Tong Xion's face immediately flushed red. She looked at her big sister beside her and stomped her feet angrily. "Big sister, he bullied me last time. Say something." "All right, Xion, walk around nearby. I still have things to do." With that, the peerless woman in white immediately soared into the sky and quickly disappeared into the horizon. Seeing this scene, Tong Xion was dumbfounded. She stared blankly at the direction where her elder sister had left. On the contrary, Wang Mang couldn't help but secretly sigh in relief. Then, Wang Mang stopped pretending and said lazily, "Junior sister, what are you trying to do by blocking my way? You're not plotting something against me, are you?" Seeing that Wang Mang had reverted to his true nature and looked like a bad person, Tong Xen gritted her teeth in anger and said, "Why didn't you say that just now? Umph. Are you afraid of my big sister? If you dare to bully me again, I'll get my big sister to teach you a lesson." Hearing this, Wang Mang was a little cautious, but he still looked like he deserved a beating. "Ioyo, I'm so scared. So what if I bully you?" As he spoke, Wang Mang couldn't help but pinch Tong Xion's cheeks. Her face was full of pride. But at this moment, the system's voice sounded frowny-faced ding. Host current status detected. The host is given the following missions to choose from. Mission 1. Choose to ignore Tong Xion's powerful background. Mission time. Available upon selection. Mission reward. 1,000 energy points. Diamond treasure chest X1. Mission 2. Make use of Tong Xion's powerful background and cheat her of no less than 100,000 immortal stones. Mission time. Available upon completion. Mission reward. 10,000 energy points. High-grade blind box X1. Mission 2. Make use of Tong Xion's powerful background and obtain no less than 10 elixir recipes. Mission time. Available upon completion. Mission reward. 50,000 energy points. Supreme Grade Blind Box X1. After listening to the system's voice, Wang Mang was stunned. F*CK. System, you want me to make use of Tong Xion. The problem is that I'm not that kind of person. I have my dignity too. I'm a celestial king expert, and I want to make use of Tong Xion. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was furious and made a decision in his heart. Then, Wang Mang said in his heart, System, I choose Mission 3. In the next moment, the system's voice sounded frowny-faced. Congratulations to the host for choosing the mission. Please complete the mission as soon as possible to receive the reward. After listening to the system's voice, Wang Mang nodded in satisfaction. Of course, Wang Mang would never admit that he was living off Tong Xion. He was not living off Tong Xion. He was thinking about the big picture and plotting for development. Although he did not know how valuable the elixir recipes were, Wang Mang knew that the elixir recipes were definitely not cheap. This was also one of the reasons why Wang Mang chose Mission 3. What was the use of scamming a mere 100,000 immortal stones? Scamming the elixir recipes was what Wang Mang really wanted. Although Tong Xion did not have the elixir recipes, her elder sister did. How could a 5th-stage alchemist master not have the elixir recipes? The number of elixir recipes she had was definitely not a small number. Thinking of this, Wang Mang smiled. He looked at the fuming junior and chuckled. All right, I'll agree to your request and not bully you anymore, okay? Oomph. Tong Xion snorted arrogantly and prepared to leave. Wang Mang couldn't help but say fiercely when he saw the primary school girl's arrogant look. Wait, there's a condition for not bullying you. How about this? Give me 180 elixir recipes, and I won't bully you anymore. Wang Mang thought for a while and said seriously. After hearing Wang Mang's words, Tong Xion was stunned. She raised her little face and looked at Wang Mang in a daze. She really didn't expect that the handsome Wang Mang would be able to say such words. Impossible. Why should I give you the elixir recipes? Do you know how expensive they are? I haven't settled the score with you for bullying me last time. How can you be like this? In an instant, Tong Xion was very angry. Her beautiful eyes stared straight at Wang Mang, her pretty face full of anger. Wang Mang could not help but laugh in his heart. If he hadn't been lucky enough to meet Tong Xion, this junior high school girl who was easy to bully, Wang Mang was probably still having a headache over how to get the elixir recipes, but now the other party had delivered herself to his doorstep. Wang Mang naturally would not let her go so easily, although the other party's sister was a stage 5 expert. But if he couldn't bully her sister, couldn't he bully her? Thinking of this, Wang Mang rolled his eyes and whispered in Tong Xion's ear, If you dare to disagree, I'll bully you every day in the future. Not only that, I'll scold you every day when I see you. If I see you, I'll splash feces on you. Do you believe me? At that time, I'll spread rumors that you're messing around with me in the Saint Emperor Academy, and spread the word that you're a fickle woman. So, you'd better listen to me obediently, or else. Towards the end, Wang Mang had a threatening look on his face, the face of a sinister villain. After hearing Wang Mang's various threats and methods to deal with her, Tong Xion was stunned. She stared blankly at Wang Mang. She really couldn't imagine that Wang Mang would actually do such a shameless thing. In an instant, Tong Xion's pretty face flushed red, her beautiful eyes widened, and she couldn't help but say in embarrassment, You're simply shameless. How can there be someone like you in this world? You actually want to use such dirty methods to deal with a little girl like me? Are you still human? Chapter 508. Looking at Tong Xion's miraculous and furious expression, Wang Meng felt proud in his heart. He knew that this little junior was probably frightened by the methods that he had said. Thinking of this, Wang Meng immediately sneered. So you'd better promise me that you'll get me the pill formulas. Otherwise, I'm not just saying these words. At that time, your reputation in the Saint Emperor Academy will be ruined. You'll become a street rat. Imagine that scene yourself. After hearing Wang Meng's words, Tong Xian couldn't help but imagine the scene that Wang Meng had described. Then, her petite body couldn't help but tremble. Her face was filled with shame and anger. You can't do this. If you do this, my big sister will definitely not let you off if she finds out. You're simply a scoundrel. Hearing this, Wang Meng said indifferently. So, you'd better promise me obediently. Hearing this, Tong Xian looked at Wang Meng's indifferent expression and couldn't help but grit her teeth in anger. After a long while, Tong Xian was like a deflated ball. She drooped her head, and her pretty face was filled with helplessness. She said aggrievedly, "But I don't have the pill formulas either. The pill formulas are so expensive." At the end, Tong Xian looked at Wang Meng pitifully. It was obvious that she had compromised with Wang Meng. After thinking for a while, Wang Meng began to come up with a plan. After a long while, he said with some disappointment, "If you don't have it, don't you know how to steal it? Your sister must have it, right? Let's go. Let's talk as we walk." As he spoke, Wang Meng put his hand on Tong Xian's shoulder and walked towards the Saint Emperor Academy. At the same time, he said, "You can secretly steal from your sister. Isn't your sister a rank 5 alchemist master? Your sister must have a lot of pill formulas, understand? It's fine even if you're caught by her." After hearing Wang Meng's words, Tong Xian thought for a while, and her beautiful eyes couldn't help but light up. She said happily, I'll give it a try." Seeing the excited Tong Xian, Wang Meng said with satisfaction, "That's right. So what if your sister finds out, right? At most, she'll just scold you a little. It won't hurt." After listening to Wang Meng's analysis, Tong Xian nodded her head like a chicken pecking rice. Then, she proudly raised her snow-white face and proudly said, "No way. Leave it to me. If I steal the pill formula, how am I going to find you and give you the pill formula?" Seeing this scene, Wang Meng didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "Actually, you don't have to steal the pill formula. Just secretly copy down your sister's pill formula and give it to me. As for how to contact me, just enter the Million Mountain Range and shout a few times. I'll hear you. If I'm not in the Million Mountain Range, you can go to the pill refining area to find me, or I'll take the initiative to find you." After hearing Wang Meng's words, the primary school girl thought for a moment, then nodded and said, "No problem, I understand." With that, the primary school girl's pretty face was filled with excitement as she skipped and disappeared in front of Wang Meng's eyes. Seeing this scene, Wang Meng couldn't help but be speechless. Was he too good at fooling people? Or was this primary school girl too stupid? He told her to steal her sister's pill formula, yet she was full of fighting spirit and went in high spirits. However, Wang Meng was also looking forward to this junior sister bringing him some benefits as soon as possible. After all, there weren't many fools who were so easy to fool. Thinking of this, Wang Meng was in a good mood. After entering the Saint Emperor Academy, he inquired about the pill refining area. After knowing the direction of the pill refining area, Wang Meng set off towards the pill refining area. A few minutes later, Wang Meng arrived at the so-called pill refining area. After entering the pill refining area, Wang Meng discovered that this place was much more lively than the rest of the Saint Emperor Academy. There were all kinds of markets that sold pills. At the same time, there were many juniors and seniors buying pills. If it was the other places in the Saint Emperor Academy, there would be a lot of people, but compared to the pill refining area, it was like the difference between heaven and earth. For example, in the rest of the Saint Emperor Academy, the flow of people was normal, but this place was like a market. Wang Meng even suspected that this pill refining area was definitely the place with the most students in the Saint Emperor Academy. At this time, a male student walked up enthusiastically and said with a smile, "Senior, do you want to buy some medicinal pills? If it's a Tier 4 pill, I recommend Senior to buy it from the pill pavilion. The price is more affordable." Hearing this, Wang Mang looked at the enthusiastic junior in front of him. The other party was a third-year student, and his strength was not bad. Judging from his aura, he should be at the peak of the heaven immortal realm. What piqued Wang Mang's interest was that Tier 4 pills were more affordable. Thinking of this, Wang Mang nodded slightly and said, "It's my first time here, so I'm just taking a look. Pill Pavilion? Can you take me there?" Hearing this, the junior smiled enthusiastically and said, "All right, senior, follow me." Then, under the lead of this junior, Wang Mang arrived at an extremely imposing pavilion that was dozens of meters tall. The junior smiled enthusiastically and said, "Senior, this is the Pill Pavilion. Please go straight to the 4th floor." Hearing this, Wang Mang nodded slightly. After sizing it up, he realized that there were indeed a lot of people in the Pill Pavilion. However, Wang Mang was not surprised. There were even juniors guiding the flow. How could there not be a lot of people? Thinking of this, Wang Mang walked into the Pill Pavilion. Wang Mang found that this place was unusually vast, and there were a lot of people who came to look at the pills. However, Wang Mang also found that most of the people on the ground floor were Earth Immortal level juniors. After a quick glance, Wang Mang went directly to the 4th floor. After arriving at the 4th floor, Wang Mang found that this place was also very vast. However, it was not as lively as the 1st floor. Of course, there were also many students of the same grade. Therefore, Wang Mang began to walk to the counter and look at the dazzling array of pills on display. Divine Martial Pill, Auxiliary Pill, Tier 4 Low-Level Pill. After swallowing the pill, you will instantly return to your peak state. Price, 1 million immortal stones per bottle, 5 pills. Realm Breaking Pill, Enhancing Pill, Tier 4 High-Level Pill. After swallowing the pill, it is useful for anyone below Tier 5. After taking it, you can break through and increase your strength. Price, 10 million immortal stones per pill. Immortal Emperor Pill, Enhancing Pill, Tier 4 Mid-Level Pill. After swallowing the pill, after the user's strength reaches the peak of the Immortal King realm, there is a 70% chance of breaking through to the Immortal Emperor realm. Price, 8 million immortal stones per pill. Immortal Supreme Pill, Enhancing Pill, Tier 4 High-Level Pill. After swallowing the pill, after the user's strength reaches the peak of the Immortal Emperor realm, there is a 70% chance of breaking through to the Immortal Supreme realm. Price, 11 million immortal stones per pill. After looking at the dazzling array of pills, Wang Mang couldn't help but be stunned, because he found that the prices of these pills were too outrageous. It was no different from daylight robbery. One pill cost tens of millions of immortal stones. Such a price simply made Wang Mang feel despair, because he couldn't afford a single Tier 4 medicinal pill. At the same time, Wang Mang was completely jealous. One pill could be sold for tens of millions of immortal stones. If he could refine Tier 4 pills, would he still lack immortal stones? He wouldn't lack immortal stones at all. At this moment, Wang Mang finally understood why the profession of alchemist was so awesome. This was a complete robbery of immortal stones. Moreover, it was daylight robbery. Chapter 509. It could be said that, after seeing the price of the level 4 elixir pills, Wang Mang's desire to become an advanced alchemist was unprecedentedly strong, because once he became a level 4 alchemist, his power would definitely soar. After all, the ratio of immortal stones to energy points was 1:1. This could be said to be the only way that Wang Mang could rapidly increase his power in this top-notch world. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was extremely motivated. He had to master 10 types of level 1 elixir pills as soon as possible and become a level 1 alchemist first. Moreover, Wang Mang already knew how to refine elixirs, so it wasn't difficult for him to become a level 1 alchemist. He only needed to master 7 types of level 1 elixir pills. After looking for a while, Wang Mang left the elixir pavilion. There was no other reason other than the fact that there were too many elixirs being sold here. Of course, the price was also very unfriendly to Wang Mang. Wang Mang was also very tempted by some of the elixirs. However, the price was too high. No, it should be said that the price was ridiculously high. After leaving the elixir pavilion, Wang Mang's mind was filled with thoughts of how to become an advanced alchemist as soon as possible. After becoming an advanced alchemist, he didn't need to worry that his power would increase too slowly. After that, Wang Mang familiarized himself with the environment in the elixir refinery area. Moreover, Wang Mang also found the place of the examination. Elixir Hall. Anyone who wanted to become an official alchemist had to go to the Elixir Hall for the examination. After finding out the location of the Elixir Hall, Wang Mang couldn't wait and said in his heart, "System, sell me 7 more level 1 elixir recipes. It's best if they are all level 1 high-level elixir recipes." In the next moment, the system's voice was heard. Ding! 7 level 1 high-level elixir recipes will cost 50,000 energy points. Do you want to exchange? Exchange! Wang Mang gritted his teeth and said in his heart. In the next moment, the system's voice was heard again. Ding! Detected that the host's current energy points are less than 70,000. A total of 50,000 energy points deducted. 20,000 immortal stones. Ding! Congratulations, host! You have obtained 7 high-grade tier 1 pill recipes. After listening to the system's voice, Wang Mang finally let out a sigh of relief. The only thing that made Wang Mang's heart ache was he had spent all 50,000 energy points from the previous reward mission. Moreover, he had even lost 20,000 immortal stones. Not only that, after Wang Mang roughly glanced at the medicinal ingredients for the 7 pill formulas, he began to spend a lot of immortal stones to purchase them. Wang Mang ran around the pill refinement district's herb shops for half a day and bought 50 sets of each of the 7 pill formulas. There were 7 pill formulas, and he had bought 50 sets of ingredients for each pill formula. This should be enough for Wang Mang to practice his skills. Fortunately, the price wasn't too exaggerated, and he only spent 10,000 immortal stones. This was because tier 1 medicinal herbs were actually very cheap. It was just that Wang Mang had bought too many of them. After purchasing the herbs, Wang Mang rushed to the cave residence in the Million Mountain Range without stopping. After arriving at the cave residence, Wang Mang couldn't wait to take out the alchemy furnace and take out a pill formula. Life-saving pill, a high-grade tier 1 pill. After using it, it can save a tier 1 living being on the verge of death. It can be said to be an immortal pill in the mortal world. After selecting the medicinal ingredients, Wang Mang didn't say anything else and started to work. Start the pot and heat the oil. Oh no, start the stove. Soon, after Wang Mang activated his magic power in his palm, a flame rose. The flame was like a demon, constantly increasing under the alchemy furnace. Not only that, in order to keep the flame from drying out, Wang Mang directly threw in 2 immortal stones. Yes, refining pills was so extravagant. As long as he could ensure that the immortal fire wouldn't go out, it was the easiest to just throw in immortal stones. Of course, he had to control the fire. After seeing that the 2-ear bronze pill was already boiling red, Wang Mang slowly controlled the fire to lower it a little. After controlling the fire, Wang Mang waved his hand, and the lid of the alchemy furnace was opened. After that, Wang Mang waved his hand, and several medicinal ingredients were thrown into the alchemy furnace, emitting green smoke. Just like that, in a few minutes, dozens of medicinal ingredients were thrown into the alchemy furnace by Wang Mang one after another. After throwing in the medicinal ingredients according to his plan, Wang Mang waved his hand and closed the lid of the alchemy furnace. Moreover, under Wang Mang's control, the alchemy furnace floating in the raging fire turned red again. Even so, the alchemy furnace floating above the fire was still spinning at high speed. After a long time, bang, an earth-shattering sound was heard. The lid of the alchemy furnace was blown away. Black smoke was emitting from the alchemy furnace. After walking forward to take a look, Wang Mang couldn't bear to look at it. He saw that the medicinal ingredients in the alchemy furnace were almost ripe. No, it should be said that all the medicinal ingredients were burnt. Looks like my fire is still too high. This life-saving pill can't withstand such a high fire? After muttering for a while, Wang Mang waved his hand and cleaned the alchemy furnace, then continued to refine the life-saving pill. Half an hour later, bang! Another loud sound was heard. Obviously, the second furnace was a failure. 2 hours later, bang! Another loud sound was heard. The third furnace was a failure. After the furnace exploded for more than 10 times, Wang Mang finally succeeded in refining the life-saving pill on the 13th furnace. After opening the lid of the alchemy furnace, Wang Mang finally heaved a sigh of relief when he saw more than 10 thumb-sized pills lying in the alchemy furnace. Success. Not bad, not bad. He had conquered another type of pill, a level 1 high-grade pill. After that, Wang Mang skillfully refined the life-saving pill a few more times, and without exception, he succeeded. The only difference was the quality and quantity of the pills refined. However, as long as he succeeded in refining a pill once, he would be able to do it with practice. This also made Wang Mang very happy. He had only returned to the Saint Emperor Academy for the first day, and he had already mastered another level 1 high-grade pill. At this point, he had mastered 4 types of level 1 pills. Thinking of this, Wang Mang became even more excited. This was much faster than when he was refining pills in the past. In the beginning, he spent an entire year to successfully refine 3 types of level 1 pills. In comparison, Wang Mang could be said to have improved rapidly. In an instant, the incomparably excited Wang Mang once again immersed himself in refining pills like a madman. 3 days later, Wang Mang had mastered the 5th level 1 high-grade pill. 6 days later, Wang Mang had mastered the 6th level 1 high-grade pill. 10 days later, Wang Mang had mastered the 8th level 1 high-grade pill. In the blink of an eye, 15 days passed just like that. In these 15 days, Wang Mang was crazily refining pills in the cave. The results obtained were also extraordinary, because Wang Mang had already completely mastered 10 types of level 1 high-grade pills. Not only that, furthermore, Wang Mang's mastery over these 10 first-tier medicinal pills had reached a level of perfection. Now, as long as he refined these 10 types of pills, there would basically be no situation of the furnace exploding. The current Wang Mang was already qualified to become a true level 1 alchemist. At this moment, after refining another batch of level 1 high-grade pills, Wang Mang looked at the pills in the cauldron with satisfaction and put them all away. At the same time, Wang Mang couldn't help but feel proud. He had only used 15 days to successfully master 7 level 1 high-grade pills. Now, he could naturally participate in the assessment and become a qualified level 1 alchemist. Thinking of this, Wang Mang said to himself in high spirits, "My talent is simply shocking, isn't it? It seems that I am indeed a genius in alchemy." Chapter 510. Then, Wang Mang couldn't wait to leave the cave. This was because he wanted to sell these pills and earn back some immortal stones. At the same time, he also wanted to go to the pill hall to participate in the examination and become a proper alchemist. After all, he had become a rank 1 alchemist in half a month. Was rank 2 or 3 still far away? Wang Mang felt that it wouldn't take too long. With his heaven-defying talent, he estimated that it would take at most a year. Obviously, Wang Mang was very confident in his aptitude. Soon, Wang Mang arrived at the Saint Emperor Academy's pill refining district. Of course, Wang Mang didn't go to the pill hall immediately. Instead, he wandered around the pill refining district. He wanted to find a place to sell the rank 1 pills. After searching for a long time, Wang Mang finally found a shop in a very remote corner of the pill refining district. This shop didn't look big. There was a big word written on the door, "Low-level pills recycling." After walking in, Wang Mang saw a middle-aged man lying on an old man's chair. He was hugging a young girl who was only at the land immortal realm. Not only that, the middle-aged male boss's hand reached under her skirt. It was unknown what he was fiddling with. This young girl, who was only at the human immortal realm, was being tormented by the middle-aged boss until her face was flushed red. She leaned weakly in the middle-aged boss's arms, as if she was drunk. Cough, cough. Wang Mang couldn't help but cough. This immediately attracted the middle-aged boss's attention. When the middle-aged boss saw Wang Mang, he smiled awkwardly. He took out his slightly wet hands and wiped them on his clothes. Then he stood up and smiled at Wang Mang, asking, "Student, do you need anything?" Wang Mang nodded slightly and asked, "Boss, do you recycle pills here? Do you recycle rank 1 pills?" Hearing this, the middle-aged boss looked at Wang Mang in surprise and asked tentatively, "Student, are you an alchemist?" Wang Mang pretended to be calm as he nodded and said, "I haven't taken the test yet. I'll be preparing to take the test later." The middle-aged boss was filled with awe and envy as he said, "Looks like you're going to become an alchemist. Congratulations." Hearing that, Wang Mang smiled. Then he took out the 7 pills that he had refined and said slowly, "Take a look. How much are these pills worth?" Seeing this, the middle-aged man's eyes lit up and he began to examine it seriously. After checking for a long time, the middle-aged man hesitantly looked at Wang Mang and said, "Let's put it this way. Classmate, I will definitely sell this batch of pills outside the St. Emperor Academy. As for the price, there are 2 prices. The normal price is 15,000 immortal stones. If you want to sell your medicinal pills to me in the future, I can give you 18,000 immortal stones." After hearing the middle-aged man's words, Wang Mang was somewhat dissatisfied. He had spent so much effort to buy the ingredients for 10,000 immortal stones, but he could only sell them for 18,000? Thinking of this, Wang Mang refused without hesitation. "That's impossible. I've been refining for more than half a month. The cost of the medicinal ingredients alone is over 10,000 immortal stones. 20,000. If it's possible, I'll sell it to you. If it's not possible, I'll ask again." After he finished speaking, Wang Mang looked like he was going to pack up his pills and leave. Seeing this, the middle-aged man couldn't help but smile bitterly and say, "Classmate, your medicinal ingredients are too expensive. Tell me what medicinal ingredients you bought. Let me see how much you've lost." Wang Mang was stunned at first, then slowly said, 7 types of medicinal ingredients for high-grade level 1 pills, 50 sets of each, and I spent more than 10,000 immortal stones." After hearing this, the middle-aged boss shook his head and said speechlessly, "At most, it's 8,000. It might not even be 8,000. How about this? I'll sell it to you for 20,000. This is your first time in my shop. If you need any medicinal ingredients in the future, you can buy them from me. Don't worry, I won't cheat you. After all, compared to a little profit, I prefer doing long-term business." Wang Mang nodded with satisfaction and said, "All right, the next time I do business here, I'll buy the medicinal ingredients from you. All right, how should I address you?" The middle-aged man chuckled and said, "Just call me Boss Song. You can count the immortal stones." As he spoke, the middle-aged man waved his hand and 20,000 immortal stones appeared on the counter. After taking a glance, Wang Mang nodded with satisfaction. He took the immortal stones and left. 10 minutes later, Wang Mang arrived at the pill hall's main hall. At this moment, there were very few people entering the pill hall. Yes, there were very few people. Wang Mang glanced and saw that not far away, there were also 2 senior sisters who were walking into the pill hall. According to Wang Mang's guess, these 2 senior sisters were most likely alchemists or alchemists who were participating in the assessment. After walking into the pill hall, what surprised Wang Mang was that there was only an old man standing at the front desk in front of the pill hall. "Senior, we're here to participate in the Rank 1 Alchemist Assessment." The 2 beautiful senior sisters were looking at the black-robed old man at the front desk with a serious face and said seriously. Hearing that, the black-robed old man glanced at Wang Mang. However, he realized that the latter was also sizing him up. He said indifferently, "What about you? Are you here to participate in the assessment too?" Hearing that, Wang Mang quickly said respectfully, "Yes, senior. I'm here to participate in the Rank 1 Alchemist Assessment too." The reason why he called him senior was naturally because he was only a Celestial Prime expert. However, He was also a rank 3 alchemist. It was written clearly on the badge on his collar. The black-robed old man nodded indifferently and said, "Very well. If that's the case, the three of you can go together. Follow me." After that, the black-robed old man walked towards a dark passage at the side. Not long after, under the guidance of the black-robed old man, Wang Mang and the other two senior sisters of the same year arrived at a sealed and spacious stone room. "All of you prepare yourselves. Prepare your own herbs and alchemy furnaces. I'll ask the other two alchemists to be the witnesses." After that, the black-robed old man left. After a few minutes, he appeared with the other two rank 3 alchemists. Among the other two rank 3 alchemists, one of them was an extremely cold woman, and the other was a middle-aged man. After entering the stone room, the two alchemists glanced at Wang Mang and the other two senior sisters. After that, they nodded indifferently and said, "The rules are that each type of elixir can only be refined 3 times. You have to refine 10 different rank 1 elixirs. All 10 types of elixirs must be refined successfully to pass the assessment." "All right, you can start now." After that, the 3 alchemists nodded indifferently at Wang Mang and the other two senior sisters. Hearing that, Wang Mang did not hesitate and took out 3 sets of each type of elixir materials. At the same time, the other two senior sisters also began to take out their herbs and alchemy furnaces. However, Wang Mang quickly discovered the difference. Other people's alchemy furnaces were very small, at most the size of a pot, but his was the biggest, because Wang Mang's alchemy furnace was as big as a cauldron. It was no different from a cauldron. Moreover, Wang Mang also discovered that when he took out such a big alchemy furnace, even the 3 alchemists who were in charge of the witnesses looked at him sideways, their eyes full of surprise and astonishment. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang was stunned and asked in confusion, "Seniors, what's wrong? Are you sure you want to use such a big alchemy furnace to refine elixirs?" The black-robed old alchemist frowned and asked. At this time, a senior sister who was in the same year as him could not help but laugh out loud. "Student, are you sure you're here to refine elixirs? Why do I feel like you're here to cook?" Hearing that, the 3 alchemists who were in charge of the witnesses, who had strange expressions and looked very old-fashioned, could not help but laugh out loud. Lin Shui, who came to participate in the assessment, could not help but mock. "Are you here to be funny? Do you think you're an advanced alchemist?" Wang Mang, who was originally a little embarrassed, could not help but become angry. "How I refine elixirs is none of your business. Do you live in the sea? You're such a busybody. I usually use such a big alchemy furnace to refine elixirs." "Idiot!" Lin Shui crossed her arms and sneered coldly. Wang Mang, who was originally flustered and exasperated, suppressed his anger and said in a low voice, "Since you think it's impossible, let's make a bet. Let's bet 100,000 immortal stones. Do you dare?" Chapter 511. 100,000 celestial stones? Do you have that much money? Lin Shui looked at Wang Mang mockingly. Her tone was full of disdain. This was because 100,000 celestial stones was not a small sum to her. Wang Mang sneered. "Of course I have that much money. You, on the other hand, don't make a ruckus if you can't afford it." Wang Mang waved his hand, and 100,000 celestial stones appeared in front of him. Lin Shui's face stiffened when she saw that. She then said coldly, "Okay, since you want to give me celestial stones, I'll bet with you. There are 3 alchemy seniors here who can be the witnesses. If you can't use this cauldron to refine pills and pass the test, you lose. If not, I win. 100,000 celestial stones will be the bet." Wang Mang nodded with satisfaction. He did not expect to gain something from participating in the test. Wang Mang could not stop someone from giving him celestial stones, could he? 100,000 celestial stones. That was enough for him to evolve once. Therefore, he agreed without hesitation. Thus, the bet between the two was set, and it was even under the witness of the 3 alchemists. They reached an agreement. At this moment, the 3 alchemists who were in charge of the witnesses said, "Okay, let's start refining pills." Lin Shui snorted when she heard that. She started to heat oil in the cauldron and prepared to refine pills. Similarly, the other junior alchemist who came with her also started to heat oil in the cauldron. Oh no, she should be refining pills now. Of course, compared to the commotion caused by Wang Mang, the difference between these two female alchemists was too great. After all, Wang Mang's cauldron was too big. However, he could control the fire in the cauldron perfectly. The three alchemists who were in charge of the witnesses were shocked and surprised. The reason for that was because they were able to tell that Wang Mang had truly reached the point of perfection in using the large cauldron to refine pills. Just from this, it could be seen that Wang Mang's mastery of the fire had already far surpassed that of first-rank alchemist. This was because an ordinary first-rank alchemist would never be able to control such a large alchemy furnace, let alone control it so skillfully. This was especially so when he saw Wang Mang toss in the medicinal herbs one by one. He still controlled the heat and temperature well. The three alchemists couldn't help but discuss in a low voice. The black-robed old man couldn't help but say, "This guy's control of the fire and other aspects of refining pills is still very good." The cold female alchemist also agreed. Compared to the other two female students, his alchemy proficiency should be much better than theirs. The middle-aged alchemist nodded his head slightly. It's hard to say if he'll reach the 4th level, but I feel that this demon race brat won't have much of a problem. At the same time, although the voices of their discussions were very soft, it was clear that they were talking to each other. But whether it was Wang Mang, Shui Lin, or the other female student, they all heard it. When she heard that the three alchemists all thought highly of Wang Mang, Shui Lin couldn't help but feel emotional. She couldn't understand why the three alchemists all thought highly of Wang Mang. She felt very unbalanced in her heart and couldn't help but look in the direction of Wang Mang. When she saw Wang Mang controlling the large alchemy furnace and refining pills smoothly, she couldn't help but be stunned. How could this be? He was just a first-rank alchemist. How could he control the large alchemy furnace and be so skillful? Boom! An earth-shattering loud sound was heard. The alchemy furnace that Shui Lin was controlling exploded immediately. Black smoke floated out of the alchemy furnace and attracted the attention of the three alchemists. Similarly, when Shui Lin saw that the alchemy furnace she was controlling had exploded, her pretty face stiffened. She knew the reason for her failure. The main reason was that she was distracted. Thinking of this, Shui Lin tried hard to calm her emotions and started refining pills again. But at this moment, another loud sound was heard. She saw that her good friend, a female alchemy student, had also exploded her furnace. Why did her furnace explode? She was affected by Shui Lin's furnace explosion. After the two of them looked at each other, their expressions were a little awkward. Then, they started refining pills again. It was worth mentioning that compared to their fresh start, Wang Mang was at the peak of perfection and started to emit a medicinal fragrance slowly. An hour later, Wang Mang successfully refined the first set of pills. 2 hours later, Wang Mang successfully refined the second set of pills. 8 hours later, Wang Mang successfully refined the 9th set of pills. 11 hours later, Wang Mang had already successfully concocted the 10th type of pill. Not only that, Wang Mang basically didn't make any mistakes during the entire refining process. Not even once, because Wang Mang had basically refined the clock pills that he had mastered. Therefore, Wang Mang was the first to complete refining pills, and he did it without making any mistakes. In contrast, the other two students weren't even halfway through refining, because Wang Mang didn't know if they were affected by him. These two female alchemists actually made mistakes every few days. The furnace explosion had happened several times, especially Shui Lin. He had already failed twice on the 5th set of pills. If he failed one more time, he would basically fail the test. Because there were only 3 sets of ingredients for each set of pills, only 2 mistakes were allowed. Normally, as long as a first-stage alchemist was skilled in controlling, they would basically pass the assessment. After all, each set of pills had 3 chances. Of course, the reason why Shui Lin's performance was so bad. She knew it in her heart. She was affected by this despicable guy. In the past, she would never be so bad at refining pills. But now, she had already lost the bet between the two of them. Wang Meng's alchemy skills shocked her. This caused her to make mistakes consecutively and feel uneasy, because she knew that she had already lost 100,000 immortal stones. This was simply her savings for a long time. She lost just like that. It would be a lie if she didn't regret it. Now, she could only calm down and strive to pass the assessment. After all, she had already lost 100,000 immortal stones. If she still failed the alchemy assessment, she really wanted to cry, but had no tears. At this time, Wang Meng had already passed the 10 types of pills to the 3 alchemists. After looking at the pills that Wang Meng had refined, the 3 alchemists looked at each other and nodded. The black-robed old man then smiled and nodded to Wang Meng, saying, "You've passed. You're a first-stage alchemist from now on. Wait a little longer. When they're done with the assessment, I'll bring you to collect the alchemist's exclusive alchemist robe and exclusive badge." Wang Meng immediately burst with joy and hurriedly said with a smile, "Many thanks, senior." After saying that, Wang Meng and the 3 alchemists waited together. This wait lasted for 12 hours. It had already been twice the amount of time since Wang Meng had finished refining the pills. To be honest, Wang Meng was a little impatient. Therefore, Wang Meng quietly glanced at the 3 alchemists who had witnessed the entire process. However, what surprised Wang Meng was that he could see a trace of impatience in the 3 alchemists' eyes. Obviously, the 2 female students had been refining pills for too long, and they were a little annoyed from waiting. Thinking of this, Wang Meng couldn't help but look at Lin Shui. At this moment, the other party was nearing the end and was refining the 9th type of pill. However, the bad thing was that she had already failed twice. In other words, she had to succeed in refining the 9th type of pill this time, or else she would fail the assessment. Thinking of this, Wang Meng's heart suddenly moved, and he purposely mocked loudly, "Junior sister, don't refine anymore. You've already lost anyway. If you can't do it this time, you can come again next time." To be honest, if my alchemy skills were as bad as yours, I would be too embarrassed to come to the elixir hall for the assessment. You're simply a disgrace. If I were you, I would have given up on the assessment long ago and come back after refining for a few more years. Your alchemy skills, to be honest, I feel that even those who don't know how to refine pills would be better than you. In the next moment, before Wang Meng could finish his words, the sound of a furnace exploding could be heard. Chapter 512. Bang! The sound of a cauldron exploding was heard. Lin Shui's cauldron exploded again. This meant that she had failed the test. After seeing this, Wang Meng was elated. This was exactly what he wanted to see. At the same time, Lin Shui's face was gloomy. Her anger was written all over her face. This was because Wang Meng was too infuriating. She had finished refining the pill, but he still mocked her at the crucial moment. If it wasn't for Wang Meng's mocking, she was confident that she could succeed. However, she was already in a bad mood and was affected by Wang Meng's words. When Wang Meng mocked her, she almost went berserk. "You're too much. How can there be such a shameless person in this world?" Lin Shui couldn't help but scream angrily like a tigress. Her beautiful eyes were filled with rage as she glared at Wang Meng. She wanted nothing more than to hack him into pieces. However, after seeing Wang Meng's indifferent look, she was so angry that her body trembled. Lin Shui couldn't help but look at the 3 alchemists and said, "Seniors, does this count as well? If this counts as a failure, I'm not convinced. He's purposely trying to disturb me. That's why I failed in refining the pill." Hearing this, the 3 alchemists were speechless. They naturally saw how Wang Meng tried to disturb his opponent's emotions. On the contrary, although they didn't react on the surface, they were praising Wang Meng's actions in their hearts. After all, refining a pill was a rank 1 alchemist test. It took so long, they weren't happy with the wait. Moreover, there was no civilized rule in the alchemy test that forbade others from talking. Therefore, the black-robed elder said indifferently, "You failed the test. Don't find excuses for yourself. Moreover, There's no civilized rule in the pill hall that forbade you from talking. The other two alchemists were also expressionless. They obviously supported the black-robed elder's point of view, seeing that the other party was still angry. Wang Meng couldn't help but continue mocking her. Why? Can't afford to lose? You're pushing the blame to me now. You're the one who concocted trash pills, and you're blaming me? That's not true. I was just saying that the cauldron kept exploding while you were refining pills, affecting me. Shui Lin, who already hated Wang Mang to the core, was speechless after hearing Wang Mang's words. Because what the other party said was indeed reasonable. During the process of refining pills, her furnace had indeed exploded many times. Thinking of this, Shui Lin said coldly, "Just you wait, I will not let you go." With that, Shui Lin waved her hand and threw out 100,000 immortal stones in front of the alchemy platform. Then, she left without looking back. When he saw this scene, Wang Mang didn't mind in the slightest, and he happily stepped forward to take the 100,000 immortal stones. Not bad, not bad. Another 100,000 immortal stones. There was a way to increase his strength. With this thought, Wang Mang was in a good mood. Another 2 hours passed. What surprised Wang Mang was that the other female student who came with Shui Lin actually succeeded. Although the other party's furnace had also exploded many times, she still succeeded in the end. This proved that the other party wasn't affected by him too much. Soon, under the guidance of the black-robed elder, Wang Mang and the female student received their exclusive alchemist badge and a set of exclusive alchemist robes. Only then did Wang Mang nod his head in satisfaction and leave the pill hall. At this moment, the pretty female student suddenly reminded Wang Mang, "Be careful. Lin Shui is very petty. She's going to hold a grudge against you. She definitely won't let it go so easily." Wang Mang didn't mind at all. He waved his hand and said, "She wants to fight with me with just her strength. We're both in the Immortal King realm. Her strength is indeed stronger than mine. But do you think I'm afraid of her?" The female student didn't say anything after hearing this. She was just reminding him out of goodwill. Whether Wang Mang listened or not didn't have much to do with her. If it weren't for the fact that she passed the alchemy assessment and was in a good mood, she wouldn't even bother to remind Wang Mang. However, not long after Wang Mang left the pill hall, he bumped into 3 or 4 Immortal King Realm students of the same year. When the 4 Immortal King Realm students surrounded him, Wang Mang immediately squinted his eyes and couldn't help but frown. What's the meaning of this? The leader, Chen Long, chuckled and said, "We just don't like you." After saying that, Chen Long smiled at Wang Mang in disdain and said playfully, "What do you think? Do you really want to beat me up? If you don't like it, you can go to the challenge stage, the life and death stage." Hearing the young man's naked provocation, Wang Mang frowned. He remembered that he didn't offend anyone. Could it be that Lin Shui brought these guys here? Thinking of this, Wang Mang couldn't help but feel speechless. This Lin Shui is really petty. She's already holding a grudge against me, and she's taking revenge so quickly. Of course, Wang Mang also didn't show any fear and sneered coldly. "Your strength has reached the peak of the Immortal King realm, and you want to go to the life and death ring with me? Are you here to be funny? Why don't you find a senior at the Immortal Emperor realm to go to the life and death ring with you?" Hearing Wang Mang's words, Chen Long's face stiffened and said gloomily, "Okay, I'll find a beginner at the Immortal King realm to go to the life and death ring with you. Do you dare to go?" Wang Mang couldn't help but laugh and said indifferently, "Sure, beginner at the Immortal King realm. You can find whoever you want." Wang Mang was still very confident in the same realm. He didn't think that anyone could kill him. After all, Wang Mang's strength had always been overwhelming in the same realm. Seeing that Wang Mang had agreed, Chen Long didn't waste any more time and said to one of the students at the peak of the Immortal King realm, "Third brother, go and find a beginner at the Immortal King realm. Find someone stronger." The latter nodded slightly, turned around, and left. Wang Mang didn't care about this at all. With a calm expression, he mocked, "Hurry up, don't make me wait too long." Seeing Wang Mang being so arrogant, Chen Long was so angry that he laughed. He suppressed his anger and stood coldly with his hands behind his back. Not long after, Wang Mang saw Qianlong's men walking over with a cold young man. After seeing this cold young man, Qianlong's eyes lit up, and he immediately smiled warmly. Kuang Shi, I'll have to trouble you this time. The reason why he was so enthusiastic was because Kuang Shi had a powerful background. In the 4th year of the Saint Emperor Academy, he could be said to be famous. This was because Kuang Shi was only at the 3rd level of the Immortal King realm, which was the beginner Immortal King realm. However, ordinary late-stage Immortal Kings might not be able to defeat him. Similarly, Wang Mang also felt a strong sense of threat from this cold young man in the black robe. There was only one possibility, and that was that the other party's strength was indeed very powerful. The threat that Wang Mang felt from him was not much weaker than Qianlong's. Of course, that was all. However, Qianlong was clearly full of confidence in Kuang Shi. He looked at Wang Mang as if he was looking at a dead man and sneered. Let's go. Life and death arena. At the same time, the voice in Wang Mang's mind sounded frowny-facing. Detected host's current situation. The host is given the following mission to choose from. Mission 1. Ignore Qianlong's provocation and choose to admit defeat. Mission time. Available upon selection. Mission reward. 10,000 energy values. Random draw chance X1. Mission 2. Facing Qianlong's provocation. Kill his helpers. Mission time. Available upon completion. Mission reward. 30,000 energy values. Random draw chance X1. Mission 3. Facing Qianlong's provocation. Kill Qianlong with lightning. Mission time. Available upon completion. Mission reward. 60,000 energy values. Random draw chance X2. Chapter 5:13. After listening to the system's voice, Wang Mang was stunned. Is the system encouraging me to fight too? With this thought, Wang Mang fell into a dilemma. He could forget about the first mission. It was not his character to swallow his anger after being provoked like this. Moreover, Qianlong did not have the strength to make him swallow his anger. Of course, Wang Mang knew that he would definitely not be able to defeat Qianlong, because Qianlong's strength had reached the peak of the Immortal King realm, but he was only at the early stage of the Immortal King realm. If he went to the life and death arena with Qianlong, he had no confidence at all. Of course, Wang Mang was still confident in Kuang Shi, the helper that Qianlong had invited. Although Qianlong had reached the peak of the early stage of the Immortal King realm, he was not much higher than Wang Mang. Therefore, to Wang Mang, he was far less of a threat than Qianlong. In this way, Wang Mang had an idea in his heart. He said in his heart, "System, I choose the second mission." In the next moment, the system's voice sounded. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have successfully chosen the mission. Please complete the mission as soon as possible to obtain the reward. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang was about to speak, but Qianlong sneered. What? Are you scared? Do you want me to find you another first-stage Immortal King before you dare to go to the life and death arena? Hearing this, Wang Mang said expressionlessly, No need. Let's go. Qianlong was stunned at first. Then a smile appeared on his face, and he rushed towards the life and death arena. 10 minutes later, both sides had arrived at the life and death arena. At a glance, the life and death arena was very large. There were hundreds of stages erected, but there were not many people. After all, as long as there was no irreconcilable conflict between the two sides, they would not go to the life and death arena. The life and death arena, as the name suggested. Life and death would be determined on the stage. 2 people went up. 1 life, 1 death. The last person survived. This was the life and death arena. With the arrival of Wang Mang, Qianlong, and the others, there were not many people on the life and death arena, but they all looked over. A young man who looked 80% similar to the smiling Buddha walked up with a smile. Everyone, are you going to the life and death arena? F*CK. Could this guy be the smiling Buddha's twin brother? After seeing this chubby youth, Wang Mang was a little surprised. He could tell that these 2 people were not the same person, but they looked very similar. However, compared to the fair and tender smiling Buddha, this guy's skin was abnormally dark. Qianlong looked at the other party with some apprehension and asked, Lord Zeng wants to open the market, right? Ahaha. That's why you guys should wait for me. Wait for me to open the board before you guys fight. As usual, I'll give 5% of the profits to those who survive. Which two of you want to enter the life and death arena? After saying that, the so-called Lord Zeng looked at Wang Mang and the others. Mad Lion took a step forward and said indifferently, Me and him. With that, Mad Lion expressionlessly pointed at Wang Mang. Hearing this, Lord Zeng nodded with a smile. All right, please wait for a moment. It won't take long. After saying that, the smiling Buddha smilingly instructed a junior brother next to him. After hearing this, the junior brother at the Celestial King stage immediately ran to open the market. Half an hour later, Wang Mang saw that there was a table not far from the life and death arena, and many people had already gathered there. Obviously, these people were here to bet on who would win, Wang Mang or Mad Lion. Not only that, but this so-called Lord Zeng had also asked someone to lead the crowd away. Among these people, all of them were from the academy, and their strength varied. Some were strong, and some were weak. Come on. At this time, Mad Lion suddenly said coldly and jumped onto the life and death arena. Seeing this, Wang Mang expressionlessly walked to the betting area and said slowly, I'll bet on myself. 240,000 celestial stones. After saying that, Wang Mang took out the celestial stones, which surprised the person who was in charge of counting them. After receiving the celestial stones, the person smiled and gave Wang Mang a receipt. After receiving the receipt, Wang Mang walked to the life and death arena expressionlessly. This was because the other party didn't think highly of him. Otherwise, they wouldn't have given Wang Mang a wager that made him so angry. The odds of betting on him to win were 1-1. 5. The odds of betting on Mad Lion to win were 1-1. Therefore, Wang Mang didn't mind making a big bet and taking advantage of this opportunity to make a fortune. This also meant that if Wang Mang were to emerge victorious, he would definitely be able to win. He would get the capital and 360,000 celestial stones. With this amount of celestial stones, Wang Mang could evolve twice in a row. Before going on the stage, Wang Mang glanced at Qianlong with disdain. Seeing this, Qianlong's face darkened and he said coldly, Go, bet 250,000 celestial stones on Mad Lion. Hearing this, a student next to him took the space bag from Qianlong and went up to the wager. Wang Mang couldn't help but reveal a playful smile. Then he jumped onto the life and death arena without hesitation. However, when Wang Mang jumped onto the life and death arena, he found that a white barrier appeared on the square and vast life and death arena. Not only that, this white barrier became thicker and thicker. It was like a transparent stone wall that sealed the life and death arena. This was obviously the life and death arena that was sealed by a formation. You're very confident. Mad Lion looked at Wang Mang calmly and said slowly, Unfortunately, I think I'm invincible in the same realm. Wang Mang couldn't help but laugh and said in a very calm tone, What a coincidence. Me too. I'm not afraid of anyone in the same realm. In the next moment, Mad Lion's body moved and shot toward Wang Mang as fast as lightning. 9 strength of divine elephant. His angry roar was like a sudden clap of thunder. Mad Lion, who had already appeared in front of Wang Mang, surged with dermic powers and stepped toward Wang Mang in the air. At the same time, the mana surging from his first diagnosis condensed into a gigantic elephant. This elephant was very unusual. Its 4 limbs were as thick as pillars that supported the heavens. Its trunk swung like a whip, and its eyes were bright red. It was like a divine beast that had walked out from the wilderness. At this moment, Mad Lion's front limbs, which were like pillars that supported the heavens, stepped toward Wang Mang. Black Hole of Death. Wang Mang also used his divine ability. In the next moment, he raised one hand and dermic powers surged out of his body. A distorted black hole suddenly appeared above his head. Bang! It was accompanied by an earth-shattering sound. The divine elephant formed by dermic powers was instantly swallowed by the black hole, and its attack was also neutralized invisibly. At the same time, Wang Mang's eyes became sharp and murderous. A beam of black light shot out from his cold eyes as fast as lightning. Puffed. Even though Mad Lion tried his best to dodge, Wang Mang's eyes of death still attacked him. It left a bloody hole in his abdomen. At the same time, the 3,300 HP above his head instantly dropped to 3,100. Then, Wang Mang directly transformed into a huge body. A super huge creature that was 500 meters long appeared in front of him. This was obviously Wang Mang, revealing his true form. At the same time, Wang Mang directly used the same spell. His two horns, which were as sharp as a bull's, had already condensed a vast amount of lightning and roared out like a thunder dragon. Facing the roaring thunder spell, Mad Lion's hands formed a seal, and he shouted angrily. Third tribulation, godly form. Form of death. Rumble. In the next moment, he instantly transformed into an existence wearing armor and holding a huge sword. Facing Wang Mang's thunder spell, he raised his huge sword and swung it. The vast dermic powers of the sword instantly collided with the thunder spell. Rumble. An earth-shattering loud sound followed. The aftershock of the collision of the two divine abilities rippled out and swept across the entire area. Then, Wang Mang saw that Mad Lion was already charging towards him, and he shouted angrily. Desperate situation, sword swing. Mad Lion rushed into the sky and raised the huge sword above his head. Under the vast dermic powers, it condensed into a 100-meter long chi sword and flew towards him. At the same time, Wang Mang could feel that the divine ability's attack was extremely threatening to him. However, Wang Mang still opened his bloody mouth without hesitation. Falling stars. From Wang Mang's ferocious mouth, a resplendent ball of starlight shot out explosively. Obviously, Wang Mang was prepared to exchange injury for injury. Puffed. Rumble. Two sounds were heard. On Wang Mang's huge body, there was an additional bloody wound. It was so deep that bones could be seen. It was a shocking sight. At the same time, Wang Mang's 3,100 HP was only left with 2,500. Obviously, after Wang Mang took this divine ability, he was heavily injured. On the other side, Mad Lion's hair was disheveled, and he was holding a huge sword. His face was also pale, and he was in an extremely sorry state. The HP above his head had directly dropped from 3,300 to 2,540. If they were to fight to the death now, it would be hard to say whether they would survive. However, there was no doubt that Wang Mang had a higher chance of winning. However, in the next moment, something that made Wang Mang both shocked and furious happened. Chapter 514. Kuang Shi suddenly grinned at him, took out a pill, and swallowed it. Then, the HP on top of his head recovered to its peak from 2,500 to 3,200. When he saw this scene, Wang Mang was instantly extremely furious. Damn, you're grandpa. You can't beat me. So you took pills? You're too much. To be honest, Wang Mang panicked. Originally, he was still very calm, because in terms of HP and strength, Wang Mang was confident that he could exhaust the other party. But the other party actually took out pills. This was a little shameless. Wang Mang even wanted to question the other party. Are you a *King sore loser? What made Wang Mang even more depressed was that he had spent all his immortal stones. Thinking of this, Wang Mang hurriedly said in his heart, System, give me some of these pills, this *King sore loser. In the next moment, the system's voice sounded frowny-faced ding. There are 3 types of pills that the host can choose from. Ding. Third stage high-level 100 blood supplement pill. Recover 100 HP after swallowing it. Price, 50,000 immortal stones per pill. Ding. Third stage top level 1,000 blood recovery pill. Recover 1,000 HP after swallowing it. Price, 80,000 immortal stones per pill. Ding. Fourth stage low-level blood recovery pill. Only effective for immortal kings. Recover 3,000 HP after swallowing it. Price, 120,000 per pill. Ding. Host can buy pills from the system during battle. The system will not provide any pills for sale during normal times. Ding. Detected that the host has no immortal stones, no energy value. The host can credit for 1 month. Interest 50%. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang was stunned again. 3 types of pills to choose from? He didn't even need to choose. The only thing that made Wang Mang's heart ache was that the system really knew how to take advantage of the situation. 1 month on credit, 50% interest F***CK. Even loan sharks wouldn't dare to play like this. As expected, there was absolutely no benefit in taking credit from the system. If it was in the past, Wang Mang would definitely not take credit. But now it was different. The other party couldn't afford to play and was taking pills. Thinking of this, although Wang Mang hated the system for taking advantage of the situation, he still gritted his teeth and said, "Give me a blood recovery pill." In the next moment, the system's voice sounded frowny-faced. Ding. Congratulations, host. Successfully purchased blood recovery pill. Successfully deducted 120,000 energy value. Ding. Warm reminder. The host needs to repay the principal plus interest for a total of 180,000 energy values within a month. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang's heart was bleeding, but he could only pinch his nose and accept it. Similarly, Wang's Mad Lion's eyes. Mad Lion, immortal king. Immortal king, if it wasn't for the fact that this dog couldn't afford to play and took drugs, would he be in such a sorry state? At the same time, at this moment, the spectating students below the stage were also in an uproar, arguing endlessly. They were shocked by Wang Mang's strength, but at the same time, they also praised Kwang Shi's actions of taking drugs. Immortal, 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 immortal king is a sore loser. Damn it, it's one thing to be stronger than others, but he's even taking pills. Come on, brother. King bet 80,000 immortal stones on you. You have to win for me. Kill Mad Lion. He wants to kill Mad Lion? I'm afraid you're just a stone. You actually bet on a nameless junior? To be honest, if Mad Lion didn't take pills, it would be a bit difficult. I have to say, Mad Lion did well. F***CK, you immortal. Mad Lion, you should be called Mad Dog. Damn it, you're strong, but you can't afford to lose. What does him taking pills have to do with you? There's no rule against taking pills. Looks like I'm going to make a fortune. Steady, steady. Senior Mad Lion, come on. Kill this reckless bastard. At the same time, Chun Long and the others were also smiling. He couldn't help but smile gently at Lin Shui beside him. Shui, this kid dares to provoke you. He's definitely going to die this time. Hearing this, Lin Shui smiled sweetly, and her beautiful face revealed a beautiful smile. She was in a much better mood. As expected, in the following battle, Wang Mang was suppressed and beaten until he was at a disadvantage. Chun Long almost started to celebrate. He laughed and said, "Sure, look, this kid is going to die soon." As he spoke, Chun Long chuckled as he pointed at Wang Mang, who was being suppressed by Kwang Shi. "Thank you, Brother Long," Lin Shui nodded happily and said with a smile. Hearing this, Chun Long was overjoyed. He immediately laughed and said, "We're family. There's no need to be so formal. We grew up together, and you're my fiancé." Saying this, Chun Long looked at Lin Shui affectionately, but the latter frantically avoided his gaze. Seeing this, Chun Long's heart dimmed, but he still forced a smile and composed himself as if nothing had happened. This was because he firmly believed that as long as he persevered, she would be moved by him sooner or later. Let's talk about 2 different things. At this moment, Wang Mang was indeed being suppressed quite badly. After more than an hour of battle, Wang Mang's HP was reduced to only 800. His opponent's HP was still at 2,000. If Wang Mang continued like this, he would probably be killed by his opponent in at most an hour. However, Wang Mang wasn't worried because he still had the blood recovery pill. As long as he consumed it, he would instantly return to his original state. Therefore, what Wang Mang needed to do now was to exhaust his opponent's HP. Exhaust his opponent's HP a little more, preferably less than 2,000 HP. At that time, he would directly consume the blood recovery pill. Then he would be the one to beat this guy. With this thought, Wang Mang began to exhaust his opponent's HP and didn't fight directly with him. Just like this, the battle went on for half an hour. Wang Mang's HP was less than 300. Similarly, this guy's HP was only at 1,500. However, Mad Lion looked as if victory was already in his grasp. He calmly looked at Wang Mang and said indifferently, "It's useless. You are very strong. You can be said to be invincible in the same realm. But that's it. You are destined to die in my hands." As he spoke, Mad Lion walked towards Wang Mang, his killing intent overflowing. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang didn't hesitate to consume the blood recovery pill. In the next moment, under Mad Lion's astonished gaze, Wang Mang's HP had already recovered to its peak, 3,100 HP. Not only that, the injuries on his huge body were instantly healed. This was obviously the effect of the rank 4 blood recovery pill. It was heaven-defying. In an instant, the situation was completely reversed. Looking at Mad Lion's stiff face and astonished gaze, Wang Mang opened his bloody mouth and laughed sinisterly. "Do you think that you're the only one with medicinal pellets? Then what about now? Can you still take out the pill? Can't take it out? Then who do you think will die now?" Chapter 5:15. Just as he finished speaking, Kwang Shi, who had an ugly expression, was about to speak when his expression suddenly changed, because Wang Mang did not give him the slightest chance to react. At this moment, Wang Mang opened his bloody mouth and condensed an energy ball. Then this energy ball whizzed out. Obviously, Wang Mang had used his divine ability, Falling Stars. At the same time, the thunder power gathered between Wang Mang's 2 horns also blasted out. A thunder dragon whizzed out as fast as lightning. Another divine ability, Thunder Spell, Rumble, Rumble. In the next moment, Kwang Shi, who had quickly raised his giant sword to block, was directly blasted out. Similarly, when Kwang Shi was blasted into the air, Wang Mang shot out a sharp and slender bone spear from his mouth. This was also a divine ability, Wishful Bone Spur. Bang! In this breath, he used divine abilities one after another. Kwang Shi did not have time to react. He blocked Wang Mang's first divine ability, Falling Stars, but the second divine ability, Thunder Spell, the third divine ability, Wishful Bone Spur. He did not block any of them. Rumble. Poochie. The Wishful Bone Spur instantly pierced through Kwang Shi's chest. It firmly nailed him to the life and death arena, above the space barrier in the air. But the opponent was obviously not dead, but his HP was instantly reduced from 1,500 to only 200. Just as Kwang Shi roared in pain and was about to struggle, another Wishful Bone Spur whizzed over Poochie. This Wishful Bone Spur was also nailed to his chest where his heart was. Kwang Shi, who was still struggling in pain, was stunned. He stared blankly at the 2 Wishful Bone Spurs on his chest. After a long time, he slowly raised his head and looked at Wang Mang. He seemed to want to say something, but in the end, he completely lost his breath. At the same time, the immortal chi around his body also overflowed, and he completely lost all signs of life. At the same time, below the life and death arena, all the audience were stunned, because all of this happened in the time it took for a spark to fly off a flint. It could be said that Wang Mang almost completed a counterattack in an instant. After reacting, the audience below the stage was in an uproar. Damn, how could this be? Mad Lion died just like that? That's too fast. How'd he do it? How did he counterattack? Oh my god, how could Wild Lion lose? This is impossible. Yes, Kwang Shi's strength is a famous guy among the 4th years. Aha! Awesome. Brother, I love you. I regret not betting more. I've struck it rich. I bet 30,000 on him, and I really won, huh? For a moment, the countless students below the stage were discussing incessantly. Some were laughing, and some were cursing. Obviously, when someone lost, there would naturally be someone who won. But the problem was that there were too many people betting on Wild Lion. Therefore, it could be said that many people had lost. These students who had lost looked at Wang Mang with eyes full of coldness, because Wang Mang had caused them to suffer a great loss. According to their thoughts, Wang Mang should have died at Kuang Shi's hands. However, things went beyond their expectations. Wang Mang actually won. A complete counterattack. This caused them to lose everything. They had suffered a great loss. Similarly, Lin Shui's beautiful face, which was originally full of smiles, instantly froze. She did not expect that Wang Mang would actually win. Originally, Lin Shui thought that Wang Mang would definitely die. In the end, Wang Mang actually won. For a moment, her expression became extremely ugly. She coldly stared at Wang Mang and turned to leave without saying a word. This also made Chun Long feel extremely embarrassed. He did not expect that Wang Mang would really win and even kill Wild Lion, especially when he thought of the 250,000 immortal stones that he had bet. His heart was bleeding. After seeing Wang Mang's gaze, Chun Long could not help but say with a sinister expression, "Brat, this matter is not over. Just you wait." After saying that, Chun Long left in a flustered and exasperated manner. Wang Mang did not take Chun Long's threat seriously at all. On the contrary, Wang Mang was in a good mood at this moment. At this moment, the system's voice sounded frowny-faced. Ding. Congratulations, host. Mission successfully completed. Ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained 60,000 energy value. Ding. Congratulations, host. Obtained one chance to draw a random prize. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang could not help but burst with joy. Not bad, not bad. The only thing that made Wang Mang's balls hurt was that he still owed the system 180,000 energy value. This was something that could not be helped, because if he did not have the blood recovery pill, Wang Mang would really lose. If he did not take any pills, Wang Mang was confident that he could defeat the tyrannical Chun Long. But the problem was that the other party was shameless, so he could not be blamed. If the other party could take pills, so could he. Moreover, if there was a chance in the future, Wang Mang would also take pills. In short, he had learned a lot today. If both parties were evenly matched, he would consume pills to exhaust the other party to death. At this moment, the system's voice sounded again, frowny-faced. Wild Lion's corpse detected. Can be exchanged for 10,000 energy value. Do you wish to exchange? Yes. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang's heart skipped a beat. Then, Wang Mang waved his hand and stored away the other party's corpse. In the next moment, the system's voice sounded again, frowny-faced. Congratulations, host. Successfully obtained 10,000 energy value. Wang Mang, who was in a good mood, walked down the stage and went to the counter. He ignored the angry and murderous gazes of the surrounding students. Instead, he took out the receipt and said indifferently, "Exchange for immortal stones." Hearing that, Lord Zeng took the receipt with a smile, then smiled and nodded. A total of 360,000 immortal stones, plus a 5% commission for victory, a total of 490,000 immortal stones. As he spoke, Lord Zeng took out the receipt and nodded to his underlings with a smile. A junior immediately handed Wang Mang a space storage bag with 490,000 immortal stones in it respectfully. After checking it, Wang Mang nodded slightly and left with satisfaction. Life and death ring. Because even if this round was deducted, he still had 150,000 energy value from the system. Wang Mang still made a killing. Of course, what Wang Mang was more envious of was that this so-called Lord Zeng made a lot of money. The 5% commission for the winner ended up giving him 130,000 immortal stones. This meant that Lord Zeng had earned at least 1,000,000 immortal stones, maybe even more. However, with such a huge harvest today, Wang Mang was also in a very good mood. After he sorted out the gains, Wang Mang felt that he could definitely evolve twice in a row. Thinking of this, Wang Mang couldn't wait to leave St. Emperor Academy and rush to the Million Mountain Range behind St. Emperor Academy. Half an hour later, Wang Mang successfully arrived at the Million Mountain Range in the cave residence that he used to cultivate in seclusion. Then, Wang Mang said happily, "System, open my personal information." In the next moment, his personal information appeared before his eyes. Wang Mang, God of the Five Mountains, rank 1 alchemist, type, starry python, limit, 550 meters, cultivation, 20,000 years, rank 1 immortal king realm, physique, HP, 3100, energy, 3100, length, 510 meters, width, 25 meters, weight, 1 million tons. Divine ability, God controlling seal, broken body rebirth, eyes of death, devouring black hole, star destruction, heaven soaring, earth burrowing, wishful bone spur, thunder spell, one step in the world, myriad transformations. Space, top tier world multicolored stone X1, high tier world card X1, top tier world card X1, 490,000 immortal stones, immortal treasure chest X1, top tier blind box X1, random draw chance X1. Luck, 299, flood of fortune. Energy value, 70,000/150,000 current debt, 150,000 energy value, including interest. Chapter 516. After reading his personal information, Wang Mang nodded in satisfaction. He now had 690,000 immortal stones. Including 80,000 energy points, it was 770,000. With this thought, Wang Mang became even more delighted. After pondering for a moment, Wang Mang said to himself, "System, convert 690,000 immortal stones into energy points." The next moment, the system's voice sounded. Ding! Successfully deducted 690,000 immortal stones. Ding! Congratulations, host. Successfully gained 690,000 energy points. Ding! The accumulated conditions have been met. Begin evolution? Yes. After listening to the system's voice, Wang Mang said without hesitation. The system's voice sounded again. Ding! Successfully deducted 150,000 energy points. Beginning evolution. Then, Wang Mang lost consciousness during evolution. 18 hours later. Only then did Wang Mang slowly awaken from his evolution. Wang Mang successfully completed 3 consecutive evolutions. They were: the first evolution cost 150,000 energy points. The second evolution cost 200,000 energy points. The third evolution cost 250,000 energy points. The 3 evolutions cost a total of 600,000 energy points. Therefore, after waking up, Wang Mang immediately looked at the changes in his body. Without a doubt, he became stronger again. But this kind of strength was not as exaggerated as crossing realms. Wang Mang could clearly feel that his vast magic power, strength, and so on had all become much stronger. Of course, as for how much stronger he had become, Wang Mang was not sure. Thus, when he thought of this, Wang Mang silently said in his heart, "System, open my personal information." The next moment, personal information appeared in front of him. Wang Mang, God of the Five Mountains, first stage alchemist, type, cosmic python, limit 550 meters, cultivation, 21,500 years, fourth stage immortal king, body shape, health points 3,400, energy points 3,400, length 525 meters, width 26 meters, weight 5 million tons. Divine ability, God controlling seal, broken body rebirth, death's eye, devouring black hole, star destruction, heaven flight, earth burrow, wishful bone spur, lightning spell, world's end, myriad transformations. Space, pinnacle world multicolored stone X1, advanced world card X1, pinnacle world card X1, immortal treasure chest X1, best quality blind box X1, random draw ticket X1. Luck, 299, heavenly fortune. Energy value 170,000/300,000 current debt. 180,000 energy values, including interest. After reading his personal information, Wang Mang was speechless. He didn't expect that after 3 evolutions, all his gains this time would be emptied. Not only that, he was still short of 10,000 energy points of his remaining 170,000 energy points to repay the debt he owed the system. It could be said that Wang Mang went from a wealthy man to a penniless man. Of course, there were also immortal-grade treasure chests, top-grade blind boxes, and random draws. Logically speaking, he should be able to get some immortal stones or energy values, right? Thinking of this, Wang Mang said in his heart, "System, open the immortal treasure chest." From Wang Mang's point of view, he hadn't opened the chest for so long. There was no reason for the system not to give him something good. In the next moment, the system's voice sounded frowny-facing. "Congratulations to the host. Successfully opened the immortal treasure chest." Ding! Congratulations to the host. Obtained 10,000 energy values. Ding! Congratulations to the host. Obtained Tier 2 Pill Formula X1. Ding! Congratulations to the host. Obtained Tier 3 Pill Formula X1. Ding! Congratulations to the host. Obtained Tier 2 High-Grade Pill Furnace X1. Ding! Congratulations to the host. Obtained 20,000 energy values. Ding! Congratulations to the host. Obtained 50,000 immortal stones. Ding! Congratulations to the host. Obtained Junior Sister Tong Xian, an original undergarment. Ding! Congratulations to the host. Obtained a one-time bad luck card X1. After listening to the system's voice, Wang Mang was in a good mood, because the items from this immortal treasure chest were really not bad. Even a Tier 2 pill formula was out. There was also a Tier 3 pill formula. There was also a Tier 2 pill furnace for him. He got some energy values and immortal stones for him. It could be said that other than the elementary schoolgirl's original undergarment, which was useless, there was basically no trash. Wang Mang was naturally in a good mood. In addition, the Tier 2 pill formula could be said to be solved. Wang Mang's urgent need, because Wang Mang had already become a Tier 1 pill refiner and had even passed the assessment. Now, he naturally had to set off toward becoming a Tier 2 pill refiner as soon as possible, or even higher. He couldn't really just wait foolishly for Tong Xian to steal the pill formula for him, right? Now that he had a Tier 2 pill formula in his hands, he could master it in his free time. Thinking of this, Wang Mang pondered for a moment and decided to continue opening it. His luck was not bad now, so he could open it all in one go. Thinking of this, Wang Mang said in his heart, "System, open the best blind box." In the next moment, the system's voice sounded again frowny-facing. "Congratulations to the host. Successfully opened the best blind box." Ding! Congratulations to the host. Obtained 100 sets of open-grade stockings. Open-grade black stockings? F***CK. What the hell is this? Do you want me to find a girl to play with? It's the best blind box. It actually opened this thing. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was extremely depressed. He felt that this best blind box was a little unreliable. Just as Wang Mang was feeling depressed, the system's voice sounded for the second time, frowny-facing. "Congratulations to the host. Obtained 30,000 energy values." F***CK. Not bad, not bad. Wang Mang didn't have much hope at first. In the end, he didn't expect to get 30,000 energy values. That was very awesome. In an instant, Wang Mang's depressed mood was swept away. He was even filled with anticipation for the next prize. A minute later, the system's voice sounded for the third time, frowny-facing. "Congratulations to the host. Obtain a copy of the stock God Buffett's investment philosophy." Wang Mang was stunned again. Why did he give it to him? Was it for him to invest? The problem was that he was already in the immortal world. The things in the mortal world were useless to him. For a moment, Wang Mang was depressed again. This top-notch blind box had opened twice and was filled with trash. This made Wang Mang very disappointed. He could only pray that the next prize would be better. At this moment, the system's voice sounded for the fourth time, frowny face ding. Congratulations to the host. Obtained an exclusive stall at the back door of the Saint Emperor Academy, worth 1,000,000 immortal stones. Note, this stall can be used by the host or rented out. If you sell a stall, the system will take 80% of the sales. After hearing the system's announcement, Wang Meng was stunned again. What the F***CK? You opened a stall for me? Do you want me to set up a stall? But it was true. Thinking of the flow of people at the back door of the God Emperor Academy, Wang Meng was really excited. The flow of people at this stall was definitely not bad. Otherwise, why would a stall be worth millions? Moreover, from Wang Meng's point of view, although there were many stalls at the back door of the Saint Emperor Academy, there weren't many either. Even if he had immortal stones, he might not be able to get it. Thinking of this, Wang Meng was overjoyed. At this moment, the system sounded for the fifth time, frowny face ding. Congratulations to the host. Obtained. Chapter 517. At this moment, the system sounded for the fifth time, frowny face ding. Congratulations to the host. Obtain a third-year school district exclusive shop X1, worth tens of millions of immortal stones. Note, the host can use it or rent it out. If the host sells it, the system will take 99% of the sales. F***CK. Awesome. That's awesome. System, are you trying to make me a landlord? For a moment, Wang Meng was overjoyed. If the traffic at the back door of the Saint Emperor Academy was very large, then the traffic of the third-year school district exclusive shop would definitely not be low. This was because Wang Meng had been to the third-year school district before. It could be said that there were quite a few people in the Saint Emperor Academy. Which year had the most students? The first years actually had the most students. The problem was that the first years didn't have enough purchasing power. After all, the first years were all land immortals. The second years were only Earth Immortal Realm students. The ones who really had some immortal stones were the third years. The number of land Immortal Realm students was the most. Moreover, Wang Meng didn't plan to rent out this shop. He wanted to use it himself. After he became a stage 3 alchemist, he would refine pills and sell them himself. These junior brothers and sisters were the easiest to fool. Thinking of this, Wang Meng was very happy, as if he could already see an endless stream of wealth. Moreover, even if he couldn't manage it himself, he could find someone to manage it or rent it out. In short, the two stalls opened by the top-grade blind box this time made Wang Meng very satisfied. Compared to a one-time fortune, this thing could be used in a long time. It was indescribably awesome. Not bad, not bad. Just as Wang Meng was happy, the system's voice sounded for the sixth time, frowny face ding. Congratulations to the host. Obtain a Stage 2 pill, Formula X1. After listening to the system's voice, Wang Meng was in a good mood. Not bad, not bad. This top-grade blind box was simply too awesome. As expected of a blind box, you would never be able to imagine how good the things it would open would be, and you would never be able to imagine how trashy the things it would open would be. But all in all, the harvest this time was still very great. It could even be said that the wealth it opened had simply broken the record. It was a pity that the system didn't allow him to sell the stalls. Otherwise, Wang Meng could really fly off on the spot. There's still one more random draw chance. Do you want to use it? Wang Meng, who was in a good mood, thought for a while and decided to use it. Taking advantage of the fact that his luck was indeed rather good today, he decided to use it together. With that thought, Wang Meng said happily in his heart, "System, use the random draw ticket." The next moment, the system's voice sounded. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have successfully used a random lottery ticket. Then, Wang Meng thought of the lucky compass that he hadn't seen in a long time. However, when he saw the prize on the lucky compass, Wang Meng was so shocked that he was speechless. The 9 prizes were as follows: frowny face 9, 9 billion immortal stones, 8 billion immortal stones, a tier 5 alchemy furnace, 1 tier 5 pill refinement formula, summon card for tier 5 champions, 5 high-grade Tier 4 pill formulas. 6 low-grade Tier 4 pill formulas. Celestial Treasure Chest X9. All of the above prizes have been obtained. It could be said that none of the 9 prizes were bad. The trashiest ones were all low-grade Tier 4 pill formulas, and there were at least 5 or 6 of them. Thinking of this, Wang Mang also began to look forward to the random draw. While Wang Mang was looking forward to it, the lucky compass also began to spin quickly. A minute later, the spinning speed of the lucky compass slowed down. At the same time, Wang Mang was also a little nervous. After all, they were all good things. Of course, Wang Mang wanted to get a better one. At this moment, the system's voice sounded. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have obtained a Tier 5 pill Formula X1. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang was stunned at first. Then he couldn't help but be overjoyed. This thing was definitely good stuff. A Tier 5 pill formula. Ever since Wang Mang learned about the pill refinery district, Wang Mang knew how precious these pill formulas were. The reason why many Tier 3 alchemists couldn't advance to Tier 4 alchemists was because of the pill formulas. Yes, they didn't have enough pill formulas. Even if they controlled 1 or 2 Tier 4 pill formulas and could even refine Tier 4 pills, but they still couldn't become Tier 4 alchemists because they couldn't gather 10 Tier 4 pill formulas. So, they couldn't become Tier 4 alchemists. This had nothing to do with alchemy skills. No matter how powerful you were, if you didn't control 10 Tier 4 pill formulas, you couldn't participate in the pill hall's examination and become a Tier 4 alchemist. But now, Wang Mang was different. He had quite a number of pill formulas. 10 Tier 1 pill formulas. 2 Tier 2 pill formulas. 1 Tier 5 pill formula. The most important thing was the Tier 5 pill formulas. If no one was willing to take out Tier 4 pill formulas, then there were no Tier 5 pill formulas in the market. In the pill refinery district, Wang Mang had never heard of Tier 5 pill formulas. There might be Tier 5 pills, but no one sold Tier 5 pill formulas, because this thing was no longer a matter of whether to sell or not. Tier 5 alchemists definitely wouldn't take out pill formulas easily. This was also the reason why Tier 4 alchemists would fight to the death when Tier 5 alchemists wanted to recruit disciples. Now that he was only a Tier 1 alchemist, he already had quite a number of Tier 5 pill formulas. This was a very good sign. Not bad, not bad. Now I can go and get a batch of Tier 2 pill ingredients and start a break through to Tier 2 alchemists. Wang Mang, who was in a good mood, couldn't help but mutter. But at this moment, the system's voice sounded frowny-faced. Ding. Detected that the host has more than 180,000 energy value. Successfully deducted 180,000 energy value. Automatically deducted? F*CK. Are you kidding me? I want to continue to owe money. No wonder the system was not afraid to lend it to him, because the system could deduct his energy value at any time. Now that he had repaid his debt, how much energy value did he have left? How many immortal stones? Thinking of this, Wang Mang couldn't help but say gloomily, "Check my personal information." Wang Mang, 5 Mountain God, Tier 1 Alchemist, Type, Star King Python, Limit, 550 meters, Cultivation, 21,500 years, Immortal King Stage 4 Stage, Body Shape, HP 3400, Energy 3400, Length 525 meters, Width 26 meters, Weight 2.5 million tons. Divine Ability, God Controlling Seal, Broken Body Rebirth, Death's Eye, Devouring Black Hole, Star Destruction, Flying Heaven and Earth, Wishful Bone Spur, Thunder Spell, 1 Step in the World, 10,000 Transformations. Space, Top World Multicolored Stone, X1. High Level World Card X1. Top Level World Card X1. Tier 5 Pill Formula X1. 50,000 Immortal Stones. Luck Value, 299, Flood Fortune. Energy Value, 20,000/300,000. After reading his personal information, Wang Mang was even more speechless. It seemed that he was still far away from the next evolution. Not only that, Wang Mang also discovered a problem. There are some things that the system did not include. For example, the shop's Tier 1 and Tier 2 pill formulas were not included. It was as if as long as the level was not high, it was not included. After coming back to his senses, Wang Mang was in a good mood and prepared to leave the cave to buy Tier 2 alchemy materials. At the same time, he wanted to see where the 2 stalls that the system gave him were and take them over as soon as possible. In addition, he was also prepared to try refining Tier 2 pills. After all, he had to become a Tier 3 alchemist as soon as possible. This was because if the entire Saint Emperor Academy wanted to earn immortal stones, they had to be at least Tier 3 alchemists. Moreover, the students of the Saint Emperor Academy were all Tier 3 land immortals. After leaving the cave, Wang Mang immediately rushed to the back door of the Saint Emperor Academy. One of his stalls was at the back door of the Saint Emperor Academy. Not long after, Wang Mang arrived at the back door of the Saint Emperor Academy. At the same time, Wang Mang silently said in his heart, "System, where's my stall?" The system's voice sounded frowny-faced ding. Warm reminder to the host. The host stall is number 32 on the left. Hearing this, Wang Mang began to look for his stall number. Soon, Wang Mang found his stall in surprise. Why was he surprised? Because his stall was right next to the Smiling Buddha. The Smiling Buddha's stall was number 33 on the left, and he was number 32 on the left. Moreover, Wang Mang's stall was clearly empty. After seeing Wang Mang, the Smiling Buddha immediately said with a smile, "Junior brother, are you here to take care of my business again?" After hearing the Smiling Buddha's words, Wang Mang was speechless, because he had never lost money from the Smiling Buddha. If it continued like this, he would only earn and not lose money. Wang Mang and the readers would probably be suspicious. Was this guy giving him money on purpose? Chapter 518. Big Bro, Smiling Buddha. You said that every time I pass by, you asked me to take care of your business. But I've made a profit every time. That's ridiculous. Wang Mang said helplessly, because sometimes Wang Mang felt that it was a little strange. After all, it was his first time encountering such a situation. He had made a fortune from Smiling Buddha every time. Although it was not much, it was a steady profit. It made Wang Mang start to doubt his life. Hearing that, Smiling Buddha's mouth twitched, and the smile on his face was a little stiff. He wanted to slap Wang Mang's big mouth with a shoe, because Wang Mang had never made a loss from his stall. To be honest, Wang Mang was not the only one who felt that it was strange. Smiling Buddha also felt that it was strange, because in his stall, other than Wang Mang, there were not many people who had made a profit from him. This also caused his business to be lukewarm. However, he was a person who did not believe in superstitions. Therefore, after seeing Wang Mang, he was very willing to do business with Wang Mang. He wanted to see if Wang Mang could really make immortal stones from him every time. Thinking of that, Smiling Buddha said with a smile, "Come on, junior brother, want to play a few more rounds?" Hearing that, Wang Mang did not hesitate and took out 1,000 immortal stones. Same old. Pick any one for me. Smiling Buddha put away the immortal stones and casually picked a stone and handed it to Wang Mang. The selling price is 1,100. I'll still give you 1,000. Wang Mang did not waste any time. After taking the stone, he slapped it with his palm. Bang! Another muffled sound was heard. The stone did not break. Then Wang Mang slapped it again, accompanied by a loud sound. Finally, the stone cracked open. A special black and white iron piece the size of a fist appeared in front of his eyes. Wang Mang had never seen this stone before, but he knew that it was a Tier 5 material. At the same time, Wang Mang smiled and said, "Brother, take a look and give me a price. If it's suitable, sell it." Yin-yang iron. I'll take it for 11,000. The Smiling Buddha's face stiffened as he said gloomily. With that, the Smiling Buddha took out 11,000 immortal stones and handed them over to Wang Mang. The money and goods were cleared. After deducting 1,000 immortal origin stones, Wang Mang easily earned 10,000. It really seemed very strange. At this moment, Wang Mang who was about to leave, suddenly asked, "Big brother smiling Buddha, do you think we need to register if we buy a stall here?" The smiling Buddha was slightly stunned. He looked at Wang Mang in surprise and said in astonishment, "You can afford to buy a stall here? Do you know the prices of the stalls here? The price of my stall is around 9 million immortal stones. Moreover, there's a price but no market. Even if you give them immortal stones, they won't sell them, because there's no expiration date for the stalls here. The price will only continue to rise and not fall. I bought this stall early and spent 6 million immortal stones. Now, even if someone offers me 10 million, I won't sell it." Speaking of this, the smiling Buddha became complacent. After hearing the smiling Buddha's introduction, Wang Mang sucked in a breath of cold air. Holy shit, this is worth more than 1 million immortal stones. The stalls here are worth tens of millions of immortal stones. Thinking of this, Wang Mang couldn't help but become excited. Then, Wang Mang hurriedly asked, "What if it's rented?" The smiling Buddha was speechless. No one rents it out. If you can earn it yourself, who would be willing to let others earn it? Moreover, the rental price is not easy to calculate. For example, when my stall is doing well, I can easily earn a few million immortal stones a year. When the business is bad, I can earn more than 100,000 immortal stones a month. Say, if it's you, would you be willing to rent this kind of stall? If it's rented, you might as well find a junior to help you take care of it. Wouldn't it be better to collect money with ease? When the time comes, you can just give them a little commission. They will help you do business more enthusiastically than you. After hearing the smiling Buddha's words, Wang Mang suddenly understood. So that's how it is. That's right. What's the use of renting it out? Isn't that pushing the immortal stones out for others to earn? Thinking of this, Wang Mang hurriedly asked, "Brother, if I really buy a stall, what do I need to pay attention to?" Holy shit, you really bought a stall? The smiling Buddha was stunned and looked at Wang Mang with a face full of shock. Wang Mang nodded slightly and pointed at the stall next to the smiling Buddha, saying, "I bought this." After staring at Wang Mang for a while, the smiling Buddha sighed with emotion. "Awesome. It seems that you have a lot of money. Actually, there's nothing to pay attention to. Just report it to the college administrative team. If you have successfully transferred the ownership, you can just set up the stall and be done with it." Hearing this, Wang Mang suddenly understood. At this time, the system's voice sounded again, frowny-facing. Warm reminder to the host. The host can set up the stall directly. The host's information has been reported. After hearing the bear's voice, Wang Mang was even more elated. This was equivalent to telling him that he could just set up the stall directly. The system had already solved all the other problems for him. Thinking of this, Wang Mang felt even more delighted. At the same time, he began to think about what to sell if he set up the stall now. Wang Mang preferred to sell elixirs. He could produce and sell his own products and earn the most profit. But the problem was that Wang Mang couldn't refine elixirs now. Otherwise, Wang Mang would definitely set up an elixir stall, because he looked at the surrounding stalls. In fact, there are already a few elixir stalls. But Wang Mang thought for a while and decided to sell elixirs. As for where to get the elixirs, Wang Mang already had an idea in his heart. He could directly find an alchemist to work with and get a supply of goods. Then, he could lower the price and make a profit. Moreover, Wang Mang wasn't worried about being cheated in terms of price. He was prepared to start by selling on a commission basis. He didn't know the price of the elixirs, but the alchemists knew. The market knew. At most, he could just copy it and be done with it. As for the guards, it would be even easier to find. He could just casually trick some juniors and solve the problem of manpower. After thinking of this, Wang Mang couldn't help but feel proud. Oh my god, he was really a King genius. Thinking of this, Wang Mang couldn't wait and said, "Smiling Buddha, I'll go do my work first. We'll be neighbors in the future." After saying that, Wang Mang ran towards Saint Emperor Academy without looking back. Moreover, Wang Mang went straight to the alchemy area. He wanted to find some alchemists to work with. He wanted to set up the stall first. Then, naturally, he would lie down and earn immortal stones. At that time, The speed at which his strength increased was probably faster than a rocket. Chapter 519. Just as Wang Mang was excitedly rushing to the pill refining area. On the other side, the Bear Emperor and Dog Emperor were not having a good time. The speed at which they increased their strength was still very slow. They had been the sacred Emperor continent for so long without any immortal stones or resources. They had been doing the most difficult work, earning the least immortal stones, and suffering the most. At this moment, after returning to the Saint Emperor Academy, the pale-faced Dog Emperor and Bear Emperor staggered to the mission hall to hand over the mission. The receptionist in charge of handing over the mission glanced at the Dog Emperor and Bear Emperor and said coldly, "Mission completed at level 3. The reward for this mission is a total of 5,000 immortal stones. The mission hall will take 20% of it. Here are your 4,000 immortal stones." After saying that, the senior at the front desk threw out a bag that contained the reward for their mission. The Dog Emperor gritted his teeth and held the bag. After exchanging glances with the Bear Emperor, they each split half. Then, they left the mission hall in a sorry state. "Dog Emperor, we can't go on like this. Damn it, we almost lost our lives. In the end, we only got 5,000 immortal stones, and the mission hall took a fifth of it. Damn it, if this goes on, we'll have to risk our lives every time we increase our strength. If we want to reach the peak of the sky immortal realm, or even break through, how long do you think we'll have to risk our lives for? I roughly calculated that we'll have to risk our lives for at least a few decades, and we'll have to complete the mission every time. Each mission will take us at least 2 months. If we're lucky, it'll take us 1 month. At the end, the Bear Emperor's eyes turned red, and his face was filled with pain. He thought that would be very difficult to live in a top world, but he did not expect that the Saint Emperor Academy would be so difficult. If they did not risk their lives to increase their strength and did not improve every 100 years, they would not be able to pass the annual exam. They did not even have the 3,000 immortal stones that the Saint Emperor Academy gave to the third-year students every year. In fact, if they did not improve after 3 exams, they could basically get out of the Saint Emperor Academy. This was because the Saint Emperor Academy was also incomparably cruel. The strong were respected here, and it was also the law of the jungle. Other than that, the Saint Emperor Academy was not just 100 years of assessment, taking the exams in 1 year. The second-year exam, 3 years of assessment, 4-year assessment, 5-year assessment. In short, there were a lot of tests. There were also comprehensive assessments, and so on. As for why there were so many tests, because the Saint Emperor Academy never lacked people. Many students joined the Saint Emperor Academy. However, this place was very tolerant of geniuses and experts. Figuratively speaking, the first years were the most miserable. Every year, they were dog-tired and had to take the exams every year. The second-year students were a little more relaxed. They would take the exam every 2 years. The third-year students were also more comfortable. Every 3 years, they would participate in the exam. Fourth-year students naturally had to take part in the exam once every 4 years. Every 5 years, the 5th graders would take part in the exam. Every 10 years, the 6th graders would take part in the exam. That was why the Dog Emperor and the Dog Bear Emperor were so miserable. They had been here for a long time. If they didn't work hard, they would be eliminated. Moreover, don't forget that it wasn't so easy to reach the 4th stage. It could be said that the success rate was extremely low. A 3rd stage expert would advance to the 4th stage. The success rate was 1 in 10,000. Therefore, they were even more passive. They needed to run around for cultivation resources. At this time, in the face of the Bear Emperor's complaints, the Dog Emperor said helplessly, "There's nothing we can do. What else can we do? Are we going to steal?" The Bear Emperor thought for a moment and suddenly said, "Why don't we go look for Wang Mang? This guy should be doing better than us, right? He's a 4th-year student now. He's already ahead of us. Let him help us think of a way." The Dog Emperor shook his head and said, "This guy basically never finds anyone. I haven't seen him for a long time. Let's slowly endure it." But at this moment, the Bear Emperor suddenly exclaimed, "Look, it's Wang Mang." Hearing that, Go Huang quickly looked over and saw Wang Mang hurriedly walking over. Seeing that, the two of them didn't hesitate and immediately followed him. At the same time, they also wanted to see, what was Wang Mang up to recently? Why was he so elusive every day? But soon, what surprised them was that Wang Mang actually entered the alchemy district. They had been here before, but they couldn't afford it. The price of the pills was sky high. At the same time, Wang Mang didn't realize that there were two little tails following behind him. After he arrived at the alchemy district, he found Boss Song, who was collecting low-grade pills. He laughed and said, "Boss Song, give me 50 sets of each of these pills." Boss Song, who was flirting with a girl, raised his head and looked at Wang Mang in surprise. He stood up and smiled. "What? This student? Did you successfully pass the alchemy hall's exam?" Hearing that, Wang Mang smiled and nodded. Then, he took out the required ingredients. These ingredients were required for the 2 level 2 pill recipes. However, Wang Mang wrote them all together and took the ingredients together. This way, when he bought the ingredients, no one would be able to guess his recipe. After looking at the list of ingredients, Boss Song suddenly said generously, "If it's just these ingredients, I'll give them to you for free. In the future, when you make low-grade pills, you have to sell them to me." Hearing that, Wang Mang naturally nodded happily. Not long after, the girl in Boss Song's shop prepared the ingredients for Wang Mang. After getting the ingredients, Wang Mang couldn't help but ask, "Boss Song, do you know any level 3 alchemists?" Boss Song was stunned. Then he smiled bitterly and shook his head. "How would I know any level 3 alchemists?" Seeing that, Wang Mang nodded and didn't ask any more. He left the shop and started to look around the alchemy district. At this time, Wang Mang suddenly heard the sound of quarreling coming from a secluded shop in front of him. Out of curiosity, Wang Mang took a look as he passed by. After that, Wang Mang saw a middle-aged level 3 alchemist arguing with the shop owner. The middle-aged alchemist was very sullen and angry. "Boss, you're too greedy. You're charging 60% of the market price for the level 3 pills that I make. Although I'm not a tier 3 alchemist right now, the tier 3 medicinal pills that I refine are genuine goods at fair prices." Hearing that, the middle-aged shop owner didn't care at all. He said with a mocking face, "It's up to you whether you want to sell it or not. If you don't want it, forget it. If you think that the price is too low, you could go to other shops to sell it. You don't have the identity of a level 3 alchemist. I still have to find a level 3 alchemist to put my name on. Don't level 3 alchemists charge a nominal fee?" Hearing that, the middle-aged man trembled in anger. "You're too much. I don't want to do this business." After saying that, the middle-aged man clutched his storage bag and walked out of the shop in exasperation. Seeing that, the shop owner's face was full of disdain. He didn't care about the middle-aged alchemist at all. Seeing that, Wang Mang's heart suddenly moved. Seeing that the middle-aged alchemist had already walked out, Wang Mang quickly followed him and asked enthusiastically, "Student, wait a minute. You want to sell level 3 pills, right?" Hearing that, the middle-aged alchemist looked back at Wang Mang and said unhappily, "Who are you?" Chapter 520. Obviously, he was in a very bad mood. Wang Mang also noticed that on the other party's chest, the identity of a rank 2 alchemist was indeed written. However, the other party was able to refine tier 3 pills. It was obvious that he had grasped a few tier 3 pill formulas. The problem was that he had not grasped 10 tier 3 pill formulas, so he had not become a tier 3 alchemist. Thinking of this, Wang Mang smiled warmly and said, "Classmate, it's like this. I have a stall at the back door of the Saint Emperor Academy. Don't you want to sell pills too? So, I'm going to expand my own supply channels. Don't worry, the price won't be too bad. I'll sell it on a commission basis." The middle-aged man's eyes lit up, and then he asked hesitantly, "I won't compromise on the price. I'll give you 70% of the selling price. Can you accept it? If you can accept it, we can talk. I have 3 tier 3 pills." Hearing this, Wang Mang immediately patted his chest with a smile and guaranteed, "No problem, 70% it is. I'm out of stock right now. You can't just sell your 3 tier 3 pills on the stall, right? How about this? If you can help me find more tier 3 pills and have a stable supply, I can give you 80% of the price. I'll take some of your pills as compensation. The middle-aged man was stunned at first. Then he immediately said happily, "Are you serious?" Wang Mang made a solemn vow. "Of course, but the premise is that you can help me find more tier 3 pills and have a stable supply of them." After hearing Wang Mang's words, the middle-aged man immediately said confidently, "Don't talk about tier 3 pills. I can even find tier 4 pills for you. You don't know, but there are many alchemists like me. There are even tier 3 alchemists who have 1 or 2 tier 4 pills, but their prices are also suppressed. It's too ruthless." At this point, the middle-aged man's face was filled with anger. It was obvious that he was one of the victims. Wang Mang's eyes lit up. He immediately suppressed his excitement and said with a smile, "It's a deal. You'll be in charge of finding a channel for medicinal pills. I'll be in charge of receiving medicinal pills. I also want tier 4 medicinal pills. The more types, the better. My stall is at the back door of God Emperor Academy, booth 32 on the left. Brother, when will you be able to finish it?" Hearing this, the middle-aged man pondered for a moment and said, "I'll bring you the pills tomorrow. Just wait for me at the stall." Wang Mang laughed and nodded. "No problem. I'll wait for you at the stall tomorrow." After that, the two of them parted ways. However, just as Wang Mang was in a good mood and was about to recruit a few juniors, he suddenly heard the familiar voices of the Dog Emperor and the Dog Bear Emperor. "Brother Wang Mang." Hearing this, Wang Mang turned around and saw two extremely ugly youths walking over. Wang Mang was naturally very familiar with these two people. They were the Dog Emperor and the Bear Emperor. He asked in surprise, "Then why are the two of you here?" Hearing this, the Bear Emperor and the Dog Emperor looked at each other and said with tears in their eyes, "Brother Wang Mang, you don't know how miserable we've been recently." "That's right, Brother Wang Mang. We're risking our lives to carry out missions every day, but the amount of immortal stones we earn is very little. We can't live anymore. I want to come and join you, Brother Wang Mang." The two of them immediately told Wang Mang about their miserable lives in the past few days. After hearing this, Wang Mang sighed with emotion. He never thought that the two of them would be worse than a dog, because the immortal stones of this top world were too difficult to earn, and the two of them were not outstanding. Therefore, these days, the two of them have been accepting missions and risking their lives to complete them. After sighing with emotion, Wang Mang rolled his eyes and said with a serious face, "Sigh, how about this? We're brothers, so I have to take care of you for a while. I'm going to recruit some people to watch over the stall and sell pills for me. I can give you a reward. As for the reward, I'll give you two choices. First, I'll give you 10,000 immortal stones a year, and you'll be in charge of selling pills. Second, there's no reward, but there's a commission. I'll deduct the cost and 5% of the profit. How about it? Think about it." After hearing Wang Mang's words, the two of them looked at each other. Then, the Dog Emperor asked in a low voice, "Brother Wang Mang, isn't 5% of the profit a little too low?" Wang Mang was so angry that he laughed and said unhappily, "It's fine. I'll find someone who's willing to do it. I don't know how many students would want to do this job. If I put the commission in the mission hall, do you believe that the mission hall will take 1% of the profit?" With that, Wang Mang turned and prepared to leave. Seeing this, the Dog Emperor and the Bear Emperor hurriedly pulled Wang Mang and said, "Do it, do it, do it. Let's do it." Wang Mang nodded in satisfaction. "Yes, don't be mistaken. You guys will get 5% of the profit together." The two of them waved their hands and said with a smile, "No problem, no problem." Hearing this, Wang Mang was even more elated. Not bad, not bad. Now, the stall keeper had made up his mind. Also, the problem of supplying pills was solved. He could lie down and earn money in the future. Early the next morning, Wang Mang brought the Dog Emperor and the Bear Emperor to the stall at the back door of the Saint Emperor Academy. Under Wang Mang's guidance, the Dog Emperor and the Bear Emperor had already set up the stall. Not long after, The middle-aged alchemist who reached an agreement with Wang Mang yesterday came. He immediately took out 45 types of level 3 pills and 4 types of level 4 pills from his storage space and handed them to Wang Mang. He said seriously, "Brother, this is the seller I contacted yesterday. They are also willing to accept 70% of the market price. When the time comes, I will come here once a month. After you sell them, just give me the immortal stones. Also, if you don't have enough pills, you can find me at the Pill Refinery District, Level 2 Pill Refinery Pavilion." "All right. My name is Lu Sanshui, Level 2 Alchemist." After hearing this, Wang Mang nodded, then looked at the Dog Emperor and the Bear Emperor. "Did you hear that? If you don't have enough pills, go to the Pill Refinery District and find Alchemist Lu." Hearing this, the Dog Emperor and the Bear Emperor hurriedly nodded, their eyes filled with envy. They didn't expect that when they were still doing missions to earn immortal stones. Wang Mang, on the other hand, didn't take the normal path. He actually started a business and even got a stall. It was like a cow standing on its head. It was too awesome. The difference between the two sides was like heaven and earth. After explaining the matter, Lu Sanshui left. As for Wang Mang, he spread all the pills on the stall. Moreover, every pill on the stall was priced clearly. 50 types of pills, it could be said that there was a lot of variety. He didn't have to worry about not having enough. This was because among the level 3 pills, there were level 3 low, middle, and high. Almost all of the 3 levels were available. However, level 3 experts included human immortals, earth immortals, and heaven immortals. It could be said that the juniors of these 3 realms were all potential consumers. This was also the reason why level 2 alchemists had no status in the Saint Emperor Academy. But level 3 alchemists could do well. As for level 4 alchemists, it was even more exaggerated. If level 3 alchemists relied on the first, second, and third years to eat, then level 4 alchemists would completely monopolize the 4th, 5th, and 6th years. Therefore, it could be imagined how popular alchemists were in the Saint Emperor Academy and in the Saint Emperor continent. Back to the topic. After the pill stall was set up, Wang Mang was in a very good mood. This was because the price of level 3 pills was roughly divided into 4 levels. They were level 3 low-level pills, a bottle, 5 pills. The price was between 10,000 and 50,000 immortal stones. Level 3 middle-level pills, a bottle, 5 pills. The price was between 50,000 and 100,000 immortal stones. Level 3 high-level pills, a bottle, 5 pills. The price was between 100,000 and 200,000 immortal stones. Special level 3 pills, a bottle, 5 pills. The price was at least 200,000 immortal stones. Level 4 pills were too exaggerated. 5 types of level 4 low-level pills. Each bottle, 5 pills. The price was at least 1 million. In other words, even if only 1 bottle of level 3 low-level pills was sold every day and the price was 50,000 immortal stones, Wang Mang would be able to earn 15,000 immortal stones without doing anything. 30% of the profit. The more he sold, the more he would earn. Just thinking about it, Wang Mang couldn't help but become excited. Chapter 5:21. Similarly, the Dog Emperor and the Black Bear Emperor were also very excited when they thought of this. Because if Wang Mang earned 10% of the total profit, they would be able to get 5,000 immortal stones. The problem was that with 100,000 immortal stones, they only needed to sell 2 bottles of the lowest level 3rd stage elixirs. The profit was so huge that it made them envious. Compared to the 2,000 immortal stones they earned in 2 months of running around, it was simply incomparable. At least in 2 months, they were confident that they wouldn't be able to sell a few bottles of elixirs, right? All of a sudden, the 3 of them were unusually excited and full of energy. Similarly, after Wang Mang opened his stall, not far away, the other 2 stall owners who sold elixirs. They all looked at him with unfriendly gazes. As the saying goes, peers or enemies, there was no problem at all. As for Wang Mang, of course, he also noticed the unfriendly gazes of the other two stall owners. However, Wang Mang didn't care at all. If necessary, he didn't mind using some dirty means. There was no choice. Doing business was like this. The so-called business world was like a battlefield. It wasn't just a joke. This was true. Moreover, blocking one's path to wealth was like killing one's parents. Compared to the modern world, this world where the strong were respected was probably even more brutal. But it was worth mentioning. Wang Mang's profit-seeking personality. He really did well in this kind of environment because he and those profit-seeking people were the same kind of people. At this moment, Wang Mang, the Dog Emperor, and the other two were very enthusiastic. Looking at the seniors and juniors passing by, Yi Zichen smiled. Wang Mang didn't care at all and shouted shamelessly. But after shouting for a long time, it only attracted a few people's attention and didn't bring in any business. At this moment, the smiling Buddha beside him laughed and said, "Junior, you can't do this. For elixirs, those who need them will need them. For those who don't need them, it's useless even if you call them. Look at the other two stalls. They never shout because they have stable customers after a long time." Hearing this, Wang Mang glanced over. Sure enough, the owners of the other two pill stalls didn't greet him either. However, there were still some juniors who went up to buy pills occasionally. Wang Mang was simply envious of them. However, what Wang Mang didn't know was that the owners of the other two pill stalls were also secretly paying attention to him. Seeing that Wang Mang's business was incomparably quiet and no one was interested in it, they all stopped paying attention to it. Obviously, from their point of view, Wang Mang was a threat to them, but not a big one. From the looks of it, it was even more impossible to shake their business market. In the blink of an eye, a day passed. The sky gradually darkened. Today, Wang Mang's stall had only sold one bottle of low-grade Tier 3 elixir for 50,000 immortal stones. This also caused the other two pill stall owners to let out a sigh of relief, and they no longer paid any attention to Wang Mang. On the other hand, Wang Mang and the other two were originally very excited and enthusiastic about doing business. In the end, they only sold one bottle of low-grade Tier 3 elixir for 50,000 immortal stones in one day. They all suffer a blow, because there would be no harm if there was no comparison. However, Wang Mang had a comparison. At this moment, as the sky gradually darkened, Wang Mang's expression was also extremely ugly, especially when he saw the other two pill stall owners looking over from time to time. This caused Wang Mang's anger to soar to the heavens. The other two pill stall owners showed a mocking look one after another. In fact, they wanted to make Wang Mang aware of the difficulties and back off. Don't even think about shaking their market. Similarly, Wang Mang also calculated their business today, because he roughly calculated. As for the other two pill stalls, each of them had sold at least 10 times in today's time. In other words, these two pill stalls had earned at least 500,000 immortal stones today, or even more. After all, it was impossible for them to sell low-grade Tier 3 elixir for 10 times, right? This was because Wang Mang had carefully observed that the consumers were all second-year or third-year students. The immortal stones that they had earned today were definitely more than what Wang Mang had calculated. At this time, when the sky was completely dark, the other pill stall owners also closed their stalls. The smiling Buddha also did the same. When he closed his stall, he did not forget to pat Wang Mang's shoulder and comforted him. "It's okay. Business is built slowly. Persevere, and you will also have a stable source of customers." Hearing this, Wang Mang forced a smile and nodded perfunctorily. Seeing this, the smiling Buddha did not say anything. With his hands behind his back and his round belly, he left. At this time, the pill stall owner opposite him had already received the payment. He laughed mockingly at Wang Mang. "Boy, do you think anyone could do a pill stall business? This is simply wishful thinking. Do you think you are qualified to compete with us for business? Daydreaming. You'd better change your business." After saying that, the pill stall owner laughed disdainfully and walked into St. Emperor Academy proudly with his chin raised. The other pill stall owner was an old man. He also looked at Wang Mang mockingly and left. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang's face was as gloomy as water. At this time, the Dog Emperor could not help but say sinisterly, "Brother Wang Mang, these two guys are too arrogant. We have to think of a way. The business of their other two stalls is so good. We have to think of a way to steal their business." That was because he and the Dog Bear Emperor were also paying attention to the business of the other two pill stalls today. Wang Mang did not earn any money today. They had even less money to earn. Moreover, they relied on commission to make a living. At this time, the Dog Bear Emperor also nodded with an ugly expression and said, "We can ruin their reputation. For example, hire some people to cause trouble in their shop, or find someone to spread rumors that their pills killed people. In any case, as long as we can ruin their reputation and ruin their business, our business will improve." Hearing this, the Dog Emperor also nodded in agreement. In addition, it's best to cause as much trouble as possible and directly destroy them in one fell swoop. Let their reputation in the Saint Emperor Academy be completely ruined. Or we can find someone outside the Saint Emperor Academy to lure them out of the Saint Emperor Academy and ask an expert to kill them. After hearing the two of them, Wang Mang was very gratified and finally revealed a smile on his face. As expected of his fellow townsmen, they did not disappoint him, because he thought so too. He did not want to ruin the business of the other two stalls. How could his stall's business be good? If his business was not good, how could he lie down and earn money? With that thought, Wang Mang slowly nodded and said in a low voice, "All right, we'll do as you say. Let's ruin their business first. If they still don't know what's good for them, we'll go to the Saint Emperor Academy and invite an expert to assassinate them. No matter what method we use, we must ruin their business and steal it all." Chapter 5:22. After hearing Wang Mang's words, the Dog Emperor and the Bear Emperor looked at each other and promised with a smile, "Brother Wang Mang, leave this matter to us." That's right. We've been accepting missions in the academy these past few days, so we've gotten to know a lot of people from all walks of life. We can definitely use the smallest price to achieve the greatest effect. After hearing this, Wang Mang pondered for a moment, then nodded and said, "How many immortal stones do you need to invite people to cause trouble?" The Bear and the Dog Emperor looked at each other and said, "Big brother, don't worry. Leave this matter to us. We also have some immortal stones on us. When the time comes, we'll just tell you how much we'll spend. We'll pay for it first." Wang Mang was very satisfied with their answers. Not bad. They were very aware. After nodding with a smile, Wang Mang instructed, "All right, I'll personally watch over the stall tomorrow. You guys are in charge of finding people to cause trouble and ruin their business." Just like that, the three of them came up with all sorts of shameless plans. Early the next morning, Wang Mang continued to set up his stall as usual. Similarly, the rest of the stalls were about to set up their stalls. Some of these guys were even more diligent than Wang Mang. They set up their stalls very early. Wang Mang roughly calculated that there should be about 200 stalls at the back door of the Saint Emperor Academy. Among them, Wang Mang's stall was considered very good. Among the stalls, it was definitely one of the best. This was because Wang Mang's stall was neither close nor far from the back door of the Saint Emperor Academy. There was a lot of traffic, and so was the Smiling Buddha's stall. At this time, the owners of the other two pill stalls had also set up their stalls. Of these two stall owners, the one who mocked Wang Mang yesterday was a middle-aged stall owner, an old student of the Saint Emperor Academy. His strength was at the immortal venerable level, which meant that he was stuck before graduating. The genuine students who were close to graduating were like the Smiling Buddha. The other stall owner was an old man. This guy shouldn't be a student, but his strength was not bad. He had also reached the immortal venerable realm. If it was a fight, Wang Mang wouldn't be able to win. Therefore, Wang Mang could not openly cause trouble for him. Therefore, Wang Mang could only play some underhanded business competition. On the other hand, Wang Mang was doing business while waiting for the Dog Emperor and Dog Bear Emperor's good news. At this moment, a very young-looking junior walked up. This junior brother was clearly a third-year student, and his strength had reached the heaven immortal realm. Not only that, from the way he was dressed, he should be a rich man. "Boss, do you have blood recovery pills here? The junior could not help but ask. Hearing this, Wang Meng immediately smiled warmly. Of course, Junior, here are two types of blood recovery pills. This is the 1,000 blood pill. This is a blood recovery pill that can directly restore you to your peak. As for the price, a bottle of 1,000 blood pills costs 150,000 immortal stones. For the peak blood recovery pill, a bottle costs 300,000 immortal stones. But I still recommend you buy the blood recovery pill. It's more cost-effective. The prices of these two pills were right there. Moreover, Wang Meng had eaten the peak blood recovery pill once. The price was 300,000 immortal stones per bottle. It was a level 3 special pill. To be honest, it wasn't expensive. If this thing had immortal stones, Wang Meng would definitely stock up on some. Because, even if he was a mortal king, he could use this thing. If not for this thing last time, Wang Meng would probably have died at the hands of the berserk lion. As expected, after seeing the two types of blood recovery pills, this junior brother was a little tempted. However, Wang Meng could feel that this junior brother was a little hesitant. It was obvious that the price of 300,000 immortal stones. For a Heaven Immortal Realm expert, it was simply a sky-high price, even if this junior brother was rich. To be honest, when Wang Meng was in the Heaven Immortal Realm, he couldn't take out so much wealth. Of course, Wang Meng also knew why this guy didn't use these immortal stones to buy resources or break through to the Immortal King realm. Because Immortal King roots were really different from Heaven Immortals. The probability of breaking through to the Immortal King realm was 1 in 10,000. Once the breakthrough failed, he might die. Even if he didn't die, there would be very serious consequences. If he was lucky, he might have the qualifications to break through to the Immortal King realm. If he was unlucky, he might even die. Of course, once he tried to break through to the Immortal King realm, it was hard to say whether he would die or not. However, the resources used to break through to the Immortal King realm would definitely be wasted. According to Wang Meng's guess, this junior brother was at the peak of the Heaven Immortal realm. Obviously, he had been in this realm for a long time. However, he didn't dare to break through easily. It was probably because he didn't have enough confidence. Not to mention this junior brother. Even Wang Meng didn't have absolute confidence in breaking through to the Immortal King realm with the help of the system. Thinking of this, Wang Meng said, "Junior brother, when it's time to make a move, don't hesitate. The peak blood recovery pill can save your life at a critical moment. If you buy the peak blood recovery pill, I'll give you a suggestion. I guarantee that you'll be able to earn back these immortal stones." Hearing this, the junior brother's eyes lit up. He couldn't help but ask, "Are you serious?" Wang Meng hurriedly vowed solemnly, "Of course. Why would I lie to you?" After a long silence, the junior brother hesitated for a long time and was ready to clench his teeth and buy it. At this moment, a shout came from next door. "Junior brother, we have the blood recovery pill here. Moreover, I have an old stall here. It's much more reliable than the new elixir stall that you bought." After looking up, Wang Meng saw the middle-aged owner of the elixir stall next door staring at his customer with a smile on his face. Seeing this scene, Wang Meng's heart sank. This B** star was really more shameless than him. He hadn't even found trouble with the other party, but this guy was already trying to steal his customers. One could imagine how angry Wang Meng was at this moment. He looked coldly at the middle-aged owner. Facing Wang Meng's cold and unfriendly gaze, the middle-aged owner sneered. He didn't take Wang Meng seriously at all. He didn't forget to say with a smile, "Junior brother, come buy it from me. The price will definitely be better than his stall." Hearing this, Wang Meng said expressionlessly, "Junior brother, you can consider whether you want to buy it or not. I've never stopped people from doing business. Moreover, I can tell you a piece of gossip. Which B** starred bought the elixir that killed people not just once or twice. However, this matter has been suppressed by him. Ordinary juniors like you don't know about it all. Only we, the peddlers, have gotten the news. Think about it yourself. A stall that has killed people before is more reliable, or mine." After hearing Wang Meng's words, the owner of the elixir stall was dumbfounded. He immediately scolded in exasperation. What the F*** are you talking about? I've been running this stall for so many years, and this has never happened before. You're F***ing making up nonsense and slandering me on purpose. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang immediately looked at this junior brother seriously and said, "Junior brother, did you see that? He's completely anxious now. If this really didn't happen, why would he fly into a rage out of humiliation? Now you should know whether I'm telling the truth or not, right? I can swear, I can tell you with absolute certainty that his elixir has killed people before." Chapter 523. Hearing this, Wang Mang's heart skipped a beat. Oh my god, this dog has definitely gone crazy from killing. Moreover, Wang Mang had also guessed the other party's thoughts. He thought that the other party was finished. Even if he was a sixth-year student who was about to graduate, killing people in public in the Saint Emperor Academy was definitely a capital offense. Because it wasn't that the Saint Emperor Academy didn't allow killing, but both parties had to go to the life and death arena. This kind of direct killing and killing 4 people in one go, this guy was definitely finished. Not to mention being expelled from the Saint Emperor Academy. The greatest possibility was the death penalty. Therefore, Wang Mang had also guessed that this fellow was desperate and desperate. This was also something that Wang Mang was very surprised by. He didn't expect things to develop to this point. It was simply beyond his expectations. Who knew that this guy would be so easily provoked and have such a bad temper? This was just the beginning. He still had many methods that he hadn't used yet. In the end, this guy was completely enraged by him. At this moment, Wang Mang saw the other party shooting towards him. Obviously, this guy wanted to take him away before he left, although he was a little flustered. But Wang Mang immediately prepared to run. He indeed couldn't defeat an immortal, but he wasn't slow at running. But just as Wang Mang was about to run, a figure suddenly blocked in front of him. Then, this figure directly sent out a palm strike, colliding with the middle-aged boss. Bang! An earth-shattering sound rang out. The terrifying aftershock spread out, forming a terrifying shockwave. Looking back, Wang Mang heaved a sigh of relief. It turned out that the smiling Buddha had already stopped the middle-aged boss. Wang Mang also took the opportunity to retreat. If the situation turned bad, he would immediately run towards the Saint Emperor Academy. At this moment, the middle-aged boss said in exasperation, "Smiling Buddha, are you sure you want to stop me?" Obviously, the middle-aged boss was even more furious at the smiling Buddha's attack. But there was more helplessness in his tone. Because the smiling Buddha wasn't weak, he was even stronger than him. The smiling Buddha didn't care at all and continued to smile. You still have the mood to kill? When the people from the Saint Emperor Academy come, you won't even have the chance to escape. The middle-aged boss looked at Wang Mang with a face full of killing intent. Even if I die, I will kill this bastard. Hearing this, the smiling Buddha smiled and said, "You won't have that chance. With me here, it's not very likely that you can kill him." The furious middle-aged boss didn't say anything in the end. He looked at Wang Mang with a murderous gaze, then turned around and prepared to leave. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang, who was not far away, directly muttered in his heart, "What a pity." System. Using a one-time bad luck card. The target is the middle-aged owner of the elixir stall. As soon as he said that, the system's voice sounded. Ding! Congratulations, host. One-time bad luck card successfully used. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang couldn't help but laugh. Because the power of this thing was still very powerful, Wang Mang more or less knew a little about it. But what Wang Mang didn't know was that the middle-aged boss, who was about to escape, was even angrier after hearing Wang Mang's laughter. He felt that Wang Mang was ridiculing and humiliating him. This was simply too much. In a rage, the middle-aged boss suddenly exploded. He raised his hand and blasted a palm with vast magic power towards Wang Mang. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang jumped in fright. In both shock and anger, he dodged this terrifying palm. Just this palm alone caused the wind and clouds to surge, and the air to burst with a muffled sound. After seeing Wang Mang dodge, the middle-aged boss reluctantly gave up and prepared to escape. But at this moment, several figures flew out from the direction of the Saint Emperor Academy. Their auras were all at the peak of the immortal venerable realm. 5 peak immortal venerables flew out from the back door of the Saint Emperor Academy. Their speed was as fast as lightning, and their target was the middle-aged boss. At the same time, the 5 peak immortal venerables shouted angrily, "Gong Yang, you killed a student of the Saint Emperor Academy on the street and flouted the rules of the Saint Emperor Academy. Why don't you surrender now?" Seeing these 5 people from the Saint Emperor Academy's college administrative department, the middle-aged boss's expression changed drastically. He turned around and ran without saying a word. But just as the middle-aged man was about to escape, a figure suddenly flew out from the stall and blasted a palm at the middle-aged boss. This palm was also very powerful. In a hurry, the middle-aged boss also collided with the other party's palm and was finally completely forced to retreat. This also created a better opportunity for the 5 immortal venerables from the Saint Emperor Academy's college administrative department to capture the other party. As for the peak immortal venerable stall owner who suddenly attacked, Wang Mang didn't recognize him at all. But the next scene made Wang Mang even more dumbfounded. The boss took out a talisman and quickly ignited it. In an instant, he disappeared on the spot. This must be a level 5 space shift talisman, because Wang Mang had used this thing before. Similarly, when they saw this guy escape, the 5 immortal venerables from the Saint Emperor Academy hesitated for a moment and then chased in a direction. Seeing this, Wang Mang heaved a sigh of relief. Although the process was a little dangerous, Wang Mang knew that he had succeeded. He had successfully gotten himself a competitor. At that time, his elixir stall's business would definitely be better. Thinking of this, Wang Mang couldn't help but feel happy. At the same time, after Wang Mang came to the stall, he said to the smiling Buddha with a face full of gratitude, "Big brother, thank you for your help." Even if the smiling Buddha didn't make a move, Wang Mang was confident that he could escape. However, Wang Mang was still grateful that the smiling Buddha had acted so righteously. This proved that the smiling Buddha was indeed a good person. At least, he treated him well. "Kid, you should be gentler next time. This isn't the way to compete," the smiling Buddha said somewhat speechlessly. He didn't expect Wang Mang to be so ruthless. This seemingly harmless guy's personality was very similar to his. Although on the surface, he looked approachable and harmless. But secretly, his heart was as black as it could be, and as ruthless as it could be. Hearing this, Wang Mang laughed brightly. He didn't deny it, nor did he admit it, because this was a normal operation. Who knew that Gong Yang would be so violent? But Wang Mang didn't care. After all, as long as he could change his business, what was a little trick? Thinking of this, Wang Mang couldn't help but look at the other old man at the elixir stall. It was unknown whether it was a coincidence or an accident, but at this moment, the old man at the elixir stall also looked at Wang Mang. For a moment, the two of them looked at each other as if sparks of love were about to fly out. Wang Mang acted as if nothing had happened and nodded at the other party with a smile on his face. Seeing this scene, the old man's scalp went numb and he felt an inexplicable panic in his heart. This despicable person. Don't tell me you're going to use despicable means to deal with me again. Chapter 524. The old man couldn't be blamed for thinking this way. He had seen how Wang Mang dealt with Gong Yang. It could be said that in just one day, he had completely defeated Gong Yang. Therefore, he had every reason to think that Wang Mang would definitely not let him off so easily. After all, only his and Wang Mang's families were left at the back door of the Saint Emperor Academy. If this guy also destroyed him, no one would be able to compete with him for business. This was also what the old man was worried about. He actually didn't have any extravagant hopes of breaking through to the 5th step. Now that he had opened a shop, it was actually to accumulate a foundation for his future. After he had accumulated enough foundation, he would leave the Saint Emperor Academy. In a remote corner of the Saint Emperor continent, he would establish a peak rank 4 family. Obviously, he didn't dare to bet that he would succeed in breaking through to the 5th step. The old man's plan was also very obvious. After he had accumulated enough foundation, he would leave the Saint Emperor Academy and establish a rank 4 family with a deep foundation. As for the 5th step, he would leave it to this junior, because it wasn't that he had never tried to break through to the 5th step. On the contrary, he had tried to break through to the 5th step once, so he knew how dangerous it was. If there was a 1 in 10,000 chance of breaking through to the 5th step for the first time, then after the first failure, the success rate would be doubled. If there was a 1 in 10,000 chance of success for the first time, then the second time, there was only a 1 in 10,000 chance of breaking through to the 5th step. This was also the reason why many experts were unable to graduate from the Saint Emperor Academy. They had been stuck at the peak of the 4th step for too long. After failing to break through, they wouldn't try again, because the second time, the probability of breaking through to the 5th step was even lower, and the possibility of dying was even higher, limited by their aptitude, as well as the danger of dying and so on. After failing once, most peak rank 4 experts wouldn't dare to break through again, because after failing once, they would know how dangerous it was to break through to the 5th step. It was already not easy to be lucky enough to survive. Forget it. I'll do business for a while more and then leave. After thinking for a while, the old man had already made a decision in his heart. He didn't want to fight to the death with Wang Mang, nor did he want to end up like Gong Yang because of business. Of course, Wang Mang didn't know what he was thinking. On the contrary, Wang Mang was the same as the old man. Naturally, he would not give up on dealing with the old man. This wasn't a matter of respecting the old and loving the young. This was business competition. Moreover, it was worth mentioning that Wang Mang set up the stall. Business had indeed improved a lot. Many businesses that used to belong to Gong Yang had closed down along with Gong Yang's stall. Naturally, the business was split between Wang Mang and the old man. In just one morning, Wang Mang had successfully opened 3 businesses. There were 3 types of Tier 3 elixirs: low-grade, mid-grade, and high-grade. A total of 500,000 immortal stones. Just the profit that belonged to him alone was a total of 150,000 immortal stones. In addition to the immortal stones he had obtained from yesterday's sale and the immortal stones he had accumulated, Wang Mang's immortal stones had already exceeded 200,000. Furthermore, this was just the profits that he had earned. Wang Mang even suspected that he would be able to accumulate enough celestial stones for 1 evolution if this day continued. As expected, in the afternoon, Wang Mang successfully did 2 more business deals. Once again, he sold 2 types of Tier 3 mid-grade elixirs for 200,000 immortal stones. In this day, he had successfully sold 700,000 immortal stones for 5 types of elixirs. He had taken the profit that belonged to him, 210,000 immortal stones, in addition to the original 50,000 immortal stones. Wang Mang's immortal stones had already reached 260,000 immortal stones. When it was time to close the stall at night, the Dog Emperor and Dog Bear Emperor finally arrived. After seeing Wang Mang, the 2 of them were a little embarrassed, mainly because they did not expect that Gong Yang would go crazy and start a fight, even killing so many people. This frightened the Dog Emperor and Dog Bear Emperor. The 2 of them did not dare to come out until the sky turned dark. Especially after seeing that Wang Mang was fine, they heaved a sigh of relief. "How is it, Brother Wang Mang? Has the matter been resolved?" The Dog Emperor could not help but ask. As he spoke, he did not forget to look at the neighboring stall not far away. This stall used to be Gong Yang's stall. They only knew that Gong Yang killed people, but was not caught. Wang Mang explained the matter to the 2 of them, and the Dog Emperor and Black Bear Emperor were completely relieved, because next they would take over Wang Mang's stall. Moreover, Wang Mang had handed over his stall to the 2 of them today. As for the 2 of them running away, that was impossible, because the 2 of them could run away with the elixirs, but they could not run away with the elixirs in Wang Mang's stall. Because Wang Mang was in cahoots with them, even if they ran to Earth, Wang Mang would be able to catch them. Because of this, the Dog Emperor and Dog Bear Emperor had never planned to run away. They truly wanted to make a living with Wang Mang. Therefore, on the morning of the third day, the two of them successfully took over Wang Mang's stall and began to watch over the stall selling elixirs for Wang Mang. As for Wang Mang, he was able to take out his time and began to improve his alchemy skills. Watch carefully, don't disappoint me. After patting the shoulders of the two of them, Wang Mang prepared to leave. But at this time, Wang Mang suddenly saw a familiar figure walking out from the back door of the Saint Emperor Academy. This familiar voice belonged to none other than the excited junior, Tong Xin. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang's heart skipped a beat. Could it be that this junior stole the pill formula so quickly? Thinking of this, Wang Mang hurriedly stepped forward and blocked in front of Tong Xin. Tong Xin was stunned at first. Then her face was filled with excitement as she said excitedly, "Senior, I got it." Hearing this, Wang Mang was immediately overjoyed. He hurriedly brought Tong Xin to a remote place where there was no one around. After that, Wang Mang impatiently asked, "How many pill formulas did you get?" Hearing this, the primary school girl hurriedly handed the copied pill formulas to Wang Mang and said proudly, 5 types, 3 tier 2 pill formulas, and 2 tier 3 pill formulas." After looking through the pill formula, Wang Mang nodded his head in satisfaction, with an expression that seemed to say, "I think highly of you. Not bad, not bad. Junior, continue to work hard in the future. Try your best to steal more pill formulas." Hearing this, the primary school girl immediately raised her chin proudly and looked a little smug. "It's too easy. My sister isn't even here. I found these pill formulas in her residence." Wang Mang's eyes lit up, and he could not help but ask, "You didn't find any high-grade pill formulas?" Hearing this, the primary school girl was stunned. She shook her head helplessly and said, "Nope. I don't think my sister has ever revealed any high-grade pill formulas." Wang Mang immediately comforted her softly. "It's okay. I believe you can do it." Hearing this, the primary school girl's beautiful eyes lit up. She looked at Wang Mang eagerly and asked expectantly, "Then, I really stole a high-grade pill formula. Is there any reward?" Wang Mang was stunned and said subconsciously, "What reward do you want? There definitely won't be any immortal stones. Don't even think about it." Hearing this, there was no one in the primary school. She snorted unhappily and said, "What immortal stones? I don't care." Wang Mang immediately heaved a sigh of relief and said with a relaxed smile, "That's good. Say it. You want a reward. Don't go overboard. I'll promise you anything." Hearing this, Tong Xion's little face blushed a little. She looked at Wang Mang shyly and said, "Why don't Senior become my Tao companion? Senior is so naughty. If you become my cultivation partner, no one will be able to bully me." After saying that, the primary school girl looked at Wang Mang shyly. Her beautiful eyes were filled with anticipation. Wang Mang felt as if he was struck by lightning. The smile on his face completely froze. Chapter 525. To be honest, Wang Mang had never imagined that this elementary school girl would actually make such a request. Oh my God, is this girl really blind or just pretending to be blind? I don't look like a good person at all. Is this little junior girl's eyes fried? Or is she really short-sighted? Why would she be interested in me? To be honest, Wang Mang did not expect this girl to make such a request. Moreover, Wang Mang could not figure out why someone would like someone like him. The problem was that he was a demon. It was a huge python, a very, very big one. Moreover, I didn't even seduce her. Why would she be interested in me? Could it be that my charm transcended race? Could it be that race could not stop my charm? Oh my God, this damn charm that had nowhere to go. Although it was ridiculous and unbelievable, Wang Mang was still in a good mood. To be honest, Wang Mang did not dislike being liked by someone. This proved that he was still very charming. However, Wang Mang was not a casual person. He shook his head and rejected her. Senior is a demon. Junior sister, don't have any ideas about your senior brother. Hearing Wang Mang's words, Tong Xian couldn't hide the disappointment on her face. She said nonchalantly, "It's fine. So be it. We're all gods. We don't care about that. Moreover, the sacred Emperor continent respects the strong. There are countless humans and demons who have become partners." Wang Mang was speechless when he heard that. He did not know what to say at that moment. After a moment of silence, Wang Mang was about to reject her. The system's voice rang out. Ding! Detected host's current condition. Host can choose from the following missions. Mission 1. Why work hard when you can choose to win without doing anything? Accept her. Mission time. Available upon selection. Mission reward. 100,000 energy points. Mission 2. Even if you can choose to win without doing anything, you won't do anything and won't eat soft rice. Mission time. Available upon selection. Mission reward. 150,000 energy points. Immortal level blind box X1. Mission 3. The strong must live with dignity. If you don't have a woman in your heart, draw your sword to the goddess of nature. Make them give up. Mission time. Available upon selection. Mission reward. Free evolution opportunity X1. Immortal blind box X1. After listening to the system's voice, Wang Mang was completely stunned. Based on the mission issued by the system, this junior was clearly not joking. She had really taken a liking to him. Thinking of this, Wang Mang fell into deep thought. It was rare for him to stop thinking about benefits. Or rather, he didn't put benefits first. As for why, it was mainly because Wang Mang did feel a little guilty. This was because he was using this junior girl more than anything else. As for liking him, it didn't seem like it. This was because Wang Mang discovered that he had turned into a python. It was as if he couldn't be moved by anything. If there was a moment of excitement, it would be an illusion. Therefore, after Wang Mang pondered for a moment, he made his choice. System, I choose the second mission. In the next moment, the system's voice sounded. Ding! Congratulations, host. Mission completed. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained 150,000 energy values. Ding! Congratulations, host. Obtained immortal level blind box X1. After listening to the system's voice, Wang Mang looked at the expectant Tong Xian in front of him and said softly, Junior, change the condition. This really can't be sloppy. Obviously, Wang Mang didn't reject her verbally. This was because Wang Mang didn't want to make a promise. Driven by benefits, Wang Mang didn't do so. The second reason was that Wang Mang didn't want to hurt this junior who was easy to bully, because he had already decided that after he got a certain number of pill formulas, he would have less contact with her. Over time, their relationship would naturally be discussed, and the other party's naive thoughts would disappear. This should be the most gentle way to deal with it. Just as expected, after hearing that Wang Mang didn't reject her harshly, the junior finally squeezed out a smile on her disappointed face. Okay, take it slow, right, senior? Anyway, you'll definitely become my Dao partner. Wang Mang. Wang Mang had to change the topic and encourage her with a smile. Good luck. Junior, don't disappoint me. Hearing this, the junior nodded with fighting spirit, looking very confident in herself. In her opinion, this senior Wang Mang would fall for her sooner or later. Although the junior's cultivation wasn't high, she was still very confident in herself. She had a figure in the face. Wang Mang didn't care that he didn't like her. Although her figure wasn't so voluptuous yet, she was still developing. After reluctantly parting with Wang Mang, the primary school girl finally returned home. This also made Wang Mang heave a sigh of relief. Sigh? What kind of stupid thing was this? It seemed that being too handsome was always a mistake. However, he had gotten 150,000 energy points for free. This made Wang Mang very happy. This was the first time he had gotten such a generous reward for free. In the past, the free missions didn't have such generous rewards. After returning to the back door of the Saint Emperor Academy, Wang Mang bought some medicinal ingredients for Tier 2 pills and finally returned to his cave abode. If nothing unexpected happened, his seclusion this time wouldn't be too short, because this time Wang Mang wanted to completely break through the threshold of a Tier 2 alchemist. After he mastered 5 types of Tier 2 pills and gathered 5 types of Tier 2 pills, he would be able to advance to a Tier 2 alchemist. As for the pill stall business, Wang Mang was still very confident in himself. He believed that the Dog Emperor and the Dog Bear Emperor would definitely think of a way to squeeze out another pill stall. After returning to his cave abode, Wang Mang began his long journey of refining pills. The life of refining pills was very boring. Fortunately, Wang Mang was already used to it. In the blink of an eye, 3 months had passed. At this moment, in a cave abode in the Million Great Mountain Range, Wang Mang held the pill with a smile on his face. He was very satisfied in his heart. He had only used 3 months to master 10 types of Tier 2 pills. In the first month, he had successfully refined a Tier 2 pill. In the following month, he had also successfully conquered the other 4. Following that, he met Tong Xian, who gave him 5 Tier 2 pill formulas and 3 Tier 3 pill formulas. This was also the reason why Wang Mang was able to conquer 10 types of Tier 2 pills so quickly. He didn't lack resources, nor did he lack pill formulas. His aptitude was also very good. This was why he was able to quickly master 10 Tier 2 pill formulas in a short period of time. To be honest, Wang Mang sometimes felt that he was a peerless genius in the Tao of alchemy. This wasn't him being arrogant. In fact, Wang Mang's alchemy finger creation, as well as his talent, was really not bad. To be able to master 10 types of Tier 2 pills in a short 3 months, it would definitely cause a sensation. But just as Wang Mang was in high spirits, he suddenly felt a terrifying aura coming from afar. This terrifying aura instantly caused Wang Mang to swiftly return to his senses. He subconsciously rushed out of the cave and saw 2 people that he didn't expect. The one in the lead was none other than the little junior's elder sister. She was dressed in snow-white clothes and was as beautiful as an ice mountain. Her beautiful face was cold and indifferent. Beside her was the little junior who had her head lowered the entire time like a child who had done something wrong. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang's heart tightened. He immediately guessed the general situation. It was probably the little junior who stole the pills and was caught by her elder sister. Now, she had come looking for him. As expected, Tong Yin, who was like an ice mountain, looked at him coldly with her beautiful eyes. She said in a cold voice, "You got guts. You're the one who has been coaxing her to steal the pill formulas from me?" Chapter 526. After hearing big sister Tong Xian's words, Wang Mang fell into silence. If it was in the past, Wang Mang would definitely not admit it even if he was beaten to death. But seeing the helpless Tong Xian, Wang Mang couldn't bring himself to be thick-skinned. Therefore, he didn't deny it this time. He said bitterly in his heart, "Forget it." At the same time, Wang Mang also had a headache. How should he resolve this matter? After hearing Wang Mang's words, this iceberg-like woman coldly said, "I'll give you 2 choices. First, get out of the Saint Emperor Academy yourself. I won't pursue this matter any further. Second, I'll kill you and forget about this matter." Hearing those words, Wang Mang was immediately shocked. He was completely stupefied. He didn't expect this woman to be so ruthless. She actually wanted to expel him from the Saint Emperor Academy. Thinking of this, Wang Mang became even more furious. F***CK. Isn't it just stealing a few of your pill formulas? All right, it's only a dozen or so pill formulas, but do you have to be so ruthless? F***CK. You want to expel me from the Saint Emperor Academy just like that? Although he was incomparably furious, Wang Mang didn't dare to say anything. He could feel that this woman had killing intent towards him. At the same time, Wang Mang couldn't help but see the little junior sister who was crying. She seemed to be unable to speak, but she had a pleading look on her face as she shook her head at the woman. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang was silent for a long time before suppressing his anger and sullenness and said, "I choose to leave the Saint Emperor Academy." This was something that couldn't be helped. Wang Mang also didn't expect that he would be forced to leave the Saint Emperor Academy by a Stage 5 powerhouse. Fortunately, this woman didn't directly choose to make a move. Otherwise, it would be difficult for Wang Mang to escape. He could only run back to Earth. After hearing Wang Mang's choice, Tong Yin's face turned cold as she said indifferently, "Good. From now on, you are no longer a disciple of the Saint Emperor Academy. Scram. Walk out of the Million Mountain Range, and you can completely leave the Saint Emperor Academy. I'll personally watch you scram. Don't force my hand." As soon as she finished speaking, Tong Yin waved her hand and retrieved Wang Mang's identity medallion from his chest. Seeing this, Wang Mang felt extremely aggrieved, but he did not dare to do anything. In fact, he didn't even have the thought of saying a few harsh words. Helpless, he could only dejectedly fly into the depths of the Million Great Mountain Range. Not only that, Wang Mang could feel that Tong Xion's elder sister was definitely watching him from behind. In the end, Wang Mang could only enter the depths of the Million Mountains and leave without looking back. Fine. Actually, Wang Mang wasn't willing to leave just like that. But there was no other way. This damned B*TCH probably wouldn't let him go back. To be honest, Wang Mang felt a little regretful. If he had known earlier, he would have stopped while he was ahead. He shouldn't have let those elementary school girls keep stealing. Now he had lost the big picture for a small gain. Sigh. What a miscalculation. What a miscalculation. F*CK bitch. Just you wait. I'll teach you a lesson the next time I come back. After cursing in his heart, he cursed out loud. Wang Mang finally stopped and decided to use the 5-color teleportation stone to leave this place. Because the depths of the Million Great Mountain Range were too terrifying. He could feel that there were definitely terrifying powerhouses in the depths of the Million Great Mountain Range. There were even rank 5 powerhouses, but he didn't know where they were hiding in a Million Great Mountain Range. Therefore, Wang Mang didn't hesitate to use the 5-color teleportation stone to leave. But what Wang Mang didn't know was that his choice to use the 5-color teleportation stone to return to Earth was a very correct choice. Because in the Million Great Mountain Range, there had never been a powerhouse below rank 5 who could walk out of the Million Great Mountain Range alive. At this moment, after returning to Earth again, Wang Mang couldn't feel happy. There was no other reason. His elixir business was going to be on the right track. Even his elixir business was going to start. In the future, he only needed to lie down and collect money every day. But this B*TCH just had to appear. She broke his beautiful and peaceful life. Originally, Wang Mang was confident that he could lie down and do nothing to raise his strength to the peak of rank 4. Because Wang Mang's elixir business was very good. In these 3 months, the share of immortal stones that Wang Mang received in the first month was a total of 1.6 million. In the next 2 months, he was kicked out of the Saint Emperor Academy before he could get it. After all, Wang Mang didn't expect that he would be kicked out of the Saint Emperor Academy one day. In Wang Mang's opinion, the last 2 Moon Immortal Stones were at least a few million, but he didn't have a chance to get it all. If he didn't do well, he might be swallowed by the Dog Emperor and the Dog Bear Emperor. Thinking of this, Wang Mang felt incomparably pained and angry. The hatred in his heart for the elder sister of the primary school girl had reached an extreme level, even if it was just letting him take away the immortal stones that he deserved before he left. In the end, this B*TCH actually expelled him from the Saint Emperor Academy. Sigh, what should I do now? I can't go to the Saint Emperor Academy for the time being. For a moment, Wang Mang mumbled gloomily. Should I enter a new top-tier world? Suddenly, Wang Mang recalled that he also had a top-tier world card. Moreover, Wang Mang estimated that his new top-tier world would not be weaker than the Saint Emperor continent. Thinking of this, Wang Mang could not help but feel conflicted. Actually, there were pros and cons to entering a top-tier world. There might be danger, but there might also be unknown opportunities. Sigh, forget it. I'll increase my strength first. After pondering for a long time, Wang Mang decided to increase his strength first. That was because he had gained quite a lot in the past few days. He would consider if he should enter a new top-tier world after his strength increased. Or rather, he would return to the Saint Emperor continent and find another way out. When he thought of this, Wang Mang silently said in his heart, "System, open my personal information." The next moment, his personal information appeared before his eyes. Wang Mang, God of the Five Mountains, rank 2 pill refiner, type, cosmic python, limit, 550 meters, cultivation, 21,500 years, 4th stage immortal king, physique, health, 3,400, energy, 3,400, length, 525 meters, width, 26 meters, weight, 2,500,000 tons. Divine ability, God controlling seal, broken body rebirth, death's eye, devouring black hole, star destruction, heaven and earth escape, wishful bone spur, thunder spell, horizon step, shape shifting. Space, top tier 5-colored stone X1, high tier world card X1, top tier world card X1, rank 5 pill recipe X1. 1. 65 million immortal stones, immortal blind box X1. Luck, 299, heavenly fortune. Energy, 170,000/300,000. After looking at his personal information, only then did Wang Mang feel much better. That was because he still had 65 million immortal stones. If he exchanged them for energy, it would probably be enough for him to evolve several times in a row. He might even be able to break through to the immortal Emperor realm. Chapter 527. Thinking of this, Wang Mang felt much better. But thinking of the millions of celestial stones that he had lost, Wang Mang was very unwilling. He hoped that these two bastards would not take the celestial stones that belonged to him. Otherwise, they could not blame him for not recognizing them as his brothers. After taking a deep breath, Wang Mang said in his heart, "System, convert 65 million celestial stones into energy value." The next moment, the system's voice sounded frowny-faced ding. 65 million energy value deducted. Ding. The accumulation has met the evolution conditions. Begin evolution? After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang thought for a moment, then nodded and said, "Begin continuous evolution." The next moment, the system's voice sounded frowny-faced ding. 300,000 energy value deducted. Evolving. Then, Wang Mang lost consciousness again in the midst of evolution. Moreover, Wang Mang's evolution was not just one evolution. He had evolved 4 times in a row. The first evolution cost 300,000 energy value. The second evolution cost 350,000 energy value. The third evolution cost 400,000 energy value. The fourth evolution cost 450,000 energy value. The 4 evolutions cost a total of 5 million energy value. Currently, Wang Mang was left with about 320,000 energy value. But this also allowed Wang Mang's strength to reach the late stage, Celestial King stage. This time, the surge in strength had indeed made Wang Mang much more powerful. Of course, Wang Mang did not know exactly how powerful he had become, but Wang Mang could feel that the magic power in his body, as well as his strength and other aspects, were much more powerful than before. When he thought of this, Wang Mang couldn't help but feel happy. System, open my personal information. The next moment, a completely different information page appeared in front of him. Wang Mang, God of the Five Mountains, rank 1 alchemist, type, cosmic python, limit, 550 meters, cultivation experience, 23,500 years, 8th stage Celestial King stage, stats, HP 3,800, energy 3,800, length 545 meters, width 27 meters, weight 2,800,000 tons. Divine ability, God controlling seal, broken body rebirth, death's eye, devouring black hole, star destruction, heaven flight, earth burrow, wishful bone spur, lightning spell, world's end, myriad transformations. Space, pinnacle world multicolored stone X1, high-grade world card X1, Pinnacle World Card X1, Tier 5 Pill Recipe X1, Immortal Blind Box X1. Luck, 299, Heavenly Fortune. Energy Value, 320,000/500,000 after reading his personal information. Wang Mang nodded in satisfaction. Now, he had already reached the 8th grade of the Immortal King realm. One more evolution, and he would reach the 9th stage of the Immortal King realm. After breaking through to the 9th stage of the Immortal King realm, one would be a true Immortal Emperor. However, the only thing that gave Wang Mang a headache was the problem of the template. Wang Mang didn't have to worry about the energy required for 2 evolutions since he had an Immortal level blind box. After all, he still had an Immortal level blind box. He should be able to obtain a lot of energy value when he opened it. On the other hand, he had to think of a way to get a designated lottery chance for the template. Otherwise, if he relied on the blind box to open the template, there would be a lot of suspense. It could even be said that the possibility of opening a template was very small. Although the blind box could indeed open a lot of good things. But it could also open very trashy things, and it could also open unexpected things. Just as Wang Mang was in a dilemma, the system's voice sounded frowny-facing, detected the host's current situation. The host is given the following mission to choose from. Mission number 1. Head to the top world. Mission time. You can obtain it by choosing. Mission reward. 10,000 energy value. High-grade blind box, X1. Mission number 2. Head to the top world. Live for 30 days. Mission time. You can obtain it by completing it. Mission reward. 50,000 energy value. Top-grade blind box, X1. Mission number 3. Head to the top world and successfully become the disciple of a Stage 5 expert. Mission time. You can obtain it by completing it. Mission reward. 150,000 energy value. Designated lottery X1. Immortal treasure, chest, X1. After listening to the system's voice, Wang Mang could not help but be stunned for a long time. The system wanted him to enter the top world. Thinking of this, Wang Mang's heart was a little flustered. From the looks of the mission, this top world was definitely dangerous. However, the problem was that among the 3 missions given by the system, Wang Mang needed a designated lottery chance. That was the 3rd mission. After completing the mission, he could obtain a designated lottery chance. This mission was not difficult, but it was definitely not easy either. Become the disciple of a Stage 5 expert. Wang Mang had 2 choices. The first choice was to return to the Sacred Emperor continent. The second choice was to head to a new top world, which was a top world that belonged to him. Then, he would find a powerhouse to become the disciple of, and this mission would be considered completed. After thinking about it, Wang Mang decided to give it a try. Of course, he did not want to return to the Sacred Emperor continent for the time being. On the contrary, Wang Mang was full of expectations for his new world. He could give it a try. If the new top world did not work, he would just return to the Sacred Emperor continent to take a look. Thinking of this, Wang Mang took a deep breath and slowly said in his heart, "System, use the top world card." In the next moment, a 5-color teleportation stone appeared in front of Wang Mang. This 5-color teleportation stone was naturally a 5-color teleportation stone that belonged to a top major world. Moreover, it belonged to Wang Mang. It was a 5-color teleportation stone from a new, unknown top world. In the next moment, Wang Mang activated the 5-color teleportation stone. Then, Wang Mang's figure completely disappeared again. At this moment, outside the 33rd heaven, the Purple Cloud Palace, on a futon, a white-haired old man in a green robe sat cross-legged like an old monk in meditation. Suddenly, the white-haired old man, who was originally on the futon, suddenly opened his sharp eyes. Another guest from outer space? Nanan muttered to herself. The old man's expression was uncertain. In the end, he slowly closed his eyes. On the other side, in a beautiful mountain forest that stretched as far as the eye could see, Wang Mang, who had already arrived in the new world, looked at the world curiously. He could feel that the vast immortal chi here was very dense. It was as if he was in an immortal mountain. Is this the new top world? Wang Mang instinctively soared into the sky and began to search nearby. However, Wang Mang soon discovered that he was on an extremely tall immortal mountain. It was as if there was a vast, immortal chi that was faintly discernible. Wang Mang could not help but feel a little puzzled. He flew toward the immortal mountain and mumbled to himself, "Is there someone here?" Soon, Wang Mang arrived at the immortal mountain and saw the immortal mountain that looked like a paradise. On the pitch-black plaque of the immortal mountain, there were 3 large words, Fifth Manor Temple. When Wang Mang saw the 3 large words on the plaque, he could not help but be stunned. He felt that the name Fifth Manor Temple sounded familiar. Where had he heard it before? You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.